give them the All-Star Game victory in Atlanta. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 9 o'clock.
Fewer migrants are coming and more are leaving. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The number of illegal border crossings last month, the fewest ever recorded.
8,000 U.S. Border Patrol apprehensions nationwide. That is a new historic low. And 0 parole releases compared to 27,766 released in June 2024.
And Fox's Peter Ducey also reports from the White House the U.S. has sent another flight, deporting immigrants here illegally to an African country, this time Eswatini.
The idea is to show people thinking of coming to the U.S. illegally that if they get caught, they are probably not going to wind up in the U.S. waiting for their court date. They could wind up on a very, very long flight to a developing country that is going to be tough to get out of.
Now, Homeland Security reports an 830% increase in attacks on agents this year, blaming all the anti-ICE protests against immigration raids. Meanwhile, in Texas,
the FBI says Benjamin Song was arrested in Dallas. The 32-year-old wanted for his alleged role in a July 4th attack on the Prairieland Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas. He faces charges including attempted murder of a federal officer, accused of firing 2 AR-15-style rifles at 2 correctional officers and 1 Alvarado police officer.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Vice President Vance cast a tie-breaking vote at the Senate last night, advancing what's called a rescissions package toward a final vote. It would cancel more than $9 billion worth of federal funding already approved, most of it for foreign aid. There's also money for public broadcasting, as Republicans say PBS and NPR have a liberal bias. But Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says that'll affect
local news throughout the country, including in rural areas that lack broadband and other options.
Also in Washington, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is hosting a breakfast for Zohran Mamdani, who has quickly built a name for himself after winning the Democratic primary for mayor in New York City, though President Trump says
he's a communist. I don't think our country is ready for a communist, but we're going to see.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A long stretch of rain coming. Right now, it's mostly cloudy, 75 in downtown Indianapolis. Chance of thunderstorms later this morning as well. Your high today, 87. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Forecaster Alex White with the National Weather Service says what we'll see following today's stretch of rain.
And then we're going to see a cold front come in this evening, which is going to bring additional chances for thunderstorms, along with the potential for a few strong to severe storms.
A slight chance of severe weather today. There's a chance of rain every day over the next week, too. A man is dead from a shooting Tuesday afternoon on the east side of Indianapolis. IMPD officers responded just before 4 p.m. to a report of a person shot in the 3400 block of Wellington Avenue near East 34th Street and Franklin Road. They found a man inside a car with a gunshot wound. Medics arrived and pronounced him dead at the scene. No arrests have been made. While on with WIBC's Tony Katz this morning, IMPD Chief Chris Bailey says the work officers have done to try and keep the city safe cannot be overlooked.
I do believe it's making a difference. I mean, from the height of that 2021 impact, we're down almost 51% in criminal homicide, almost the same amount for non-fatal shootings.
Chief Bailey will be joining local religious leaders for a press conference later this morning about the recent uptick in gun violence. $3.18 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, says Gas Buddy. That's the average here in Indianapolis. The cheapest gas in the state is in Evansville at $2.92 a gallon. It's 3 straight wins now for the Indiana Fever as they beat the Connecticut Sun 85-77 last night in Boston. Head coach Stephanie White says they're starting to come around to having their full roster on the floor.
Really, since training camp, it's the first time we've had our complete roster. So we had to find different ways to win. And you know, sometimes you have to win ugly. And we were fortunate to be able to do that.
Caitlin Clark had 14 points, but left the game late, favoring her groin, which she had injured earlier this season. No word yet on her status for their game against New York tonight. Last night, MLB, the All-Star game came down to a swing-off. It was a Hoosier who helped the National League get the win.
Rallied in the swing-off. With the hat trick! Look out, Chop House! National League takes the lead 4-3.
Former IU player Kyle Schwarber going 3 for 3 in his at-bat in the home run derby-style ending as the National League beats the American League. Now with traffic on the 5s, good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Jared? North side, eastbound 465 before Meridian 31. Crash. 2 right lanes closed. Traffic stopped. Back to 865, then down to 86th Street. Delays at 71 minutes. Crash on the entrance from southbound 31 to westbound 465. Ramp is open. It is partially blocked. And on the west side, northbound 465 at Rockville Road, vehicle fire cleanup continues on the left shoulder. No delay. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Get extended holiday pricing and exclusive savings on LG appliances during the 4th July 4th Encore sale at Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
On and off showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy. Warm and humid. Today's high 87. Storms early this evening. Mostly cloudy skies overnight, a low of 73. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8's Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Time for Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
The Republicans are starting to lose control of the Epstein situation, and that's a good thing.
You make it sound like they had control to begin with.
Well, they did. At one point, they were in complete control of it. When they entered the control of all levers of government in January of this year, they had complete control of the situation. And because our government is a giant crime syndicate at this point, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's a giant crime syndicate. And clearly there are people, whether it is because of the powerful people that he was escorting to that island, or whether it was his engagement as some sort of intelligence apparatus with either our government or foreign governments, the Republicans, Trump, etc., have just simply decided we're not going to follow through on one of the most basic of our campaign promises. And now everything is starting to break down, and that is good, because this is one of these very front and center, hit you between the eyes with the hammer opportunities for people to see how corrupt and dishonest their government is. And the more the Republicans lose control of the situation, the better off, the more it will expose us, the better off it'll be for society.
Well, they did take control partially yesterday because they blocked a Democratic amendment that would have forced the Trump administration to release the Epstein files.
That's what I mean. They're losing control of the situation, including professional office hopper Aaron Houchin from right here in Indiana, voting against letting you. Now, they're trying to say, oh, well, it would have given Democrats control of the floor to blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. There shouldn't be a vote on this. The Democrats shouldn't have the option to take control of the floor. Trump and the Trump administration should have simply done what they promised to do when they were running. He was running for president for 4 years. Throughout the course of almost the entire campaign, he was promising to do this. I hope they lose control of everything. I hope they lose control of the floor, the walkway to the floor, the door that lets them to the floor, the parking lot that leads them into the building that leads them to the floor. I hope they lose control of everything, because what the Republicans have done here, and now you're seeing the rank and file Republicans lining up once again behind Trump instead of doing what's right, which is saying release all of it, every single bit of it. Put it out there. It is the most high-profile sex trafficking event, not only in the history of this country, but arguably in the history of the world. Everybody knows this guy was not sending these girls to this island for no reason. Everybody knows there wasn't nobody on those airplanes that were going there. We deserve to know, and the government, the Republicans, Trump, Bondi, Bongino, Patel, all these people who are standing behind Trump and these ridiculous, oh, this is such a non-story assertions now, need to be exposed for who they are and where they come down. And right now, the Republicans are the party of human sex trafficking.
So about that losing control of the floor, that's the excuse that Marjorie Taylor Greene was giving when she did an interview, and it could possibly be the reason professional office operator Aaron Houchin did the same thing when she said no thank you.
All of those people, the 7 people on that committee who voted not to release the information are now Team Epstein. They're now Team Human Sex Trafficking, because Trump could stop this now. That's the thing. These people are covering for Donald Trump not fulfilling one of his core promises to the electorate. The public cares about this, and rightfully so. As someone with a kid, you damn well better believe I care about human sex trafficking operations. I had a dinner with somebody who is very involved with with Project Rescue the other day, and this person said this to me. They do many things. It's just one of the many things they do. And they told me the other day, they said, Rob, one of the great things that showed me who you were as a person was your willful involvement with Project Rescue and all the money that you have donated to Project Rescue.
Especially with the I Love and I Hate Rob Kendall t-shirts.
And I told the guy, I said, we can come up with a new t-shirt that craps all over myself so that people will buy it so we can get some more money to Project Rescue. Because it's a massive deal. Human sex trafficking, the exploitation of little kids, is a world.
It's an international syndicate.
Absolutely. And the ability.
They have infrastructure.
The ability Trump and his administration have by releasing all the information on Jeffrey Epstein to shine a light on this and expose this, and expose perhaps how it works, how these kids, these young girls, or, it's not just young girls, in some cases it's young boys, get abducted, get coerced into this. It's not just the way people think it is, where, hey, some person in a foreign country abducts some kid and throws him in the back of an unmarked van, and it ends itself through a coyote getting across the border, and now they're in this country and nobody knows where they are. It's very high profile, oftentimes well thought of, in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, business people.
And sometimes royalty.
Yeah. And so now the Republican Party, and I've talked about this for years, that you can't fix the Republican Party. You can't fix this government. It has to go down. And the only way it's going to go down is if people are repeatedly hit front and center, right between the eyes, of how gross and disgusting these people are. And maybe, just maybe, I'm not overly optimistic, but just maybe, forcing these people to publicly protect human sex traffickers and information related to human sex trafficking, maybe that will do it. Maybe that'll be the thing that finally wakes people up about who's running the show around here.
So the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, he said he's in support of releasing all the government files.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Marjorie or Anna about that specific subject, but I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well, and I trust him. I mean, he put together a team of his choosing, and they're doing a great job. It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it. I mean, the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And Pam Bondi, I don't know. When she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I mean, I think she's done a good job. We need the DOJ focusing on the major priorities. So let's get this thing resolved so that they can deal with violent crime and public safety and election integrity and going after Act Blue and the things that the president is most concerned about, as we are. So I'm anxious to get this behind us.
The only way they're going to get it behind him is if they release everything.
Think about what you just heard him say. I'm anxious to get this behind us. Not, I desperately want to know. I want to know what little kids were abused. I want to know who is doing the abusing. I want to know how broad this crime syndicate was. We want to know who the people were. Let's hold them accountable. Let's make sure these people rot in jail. He's doing it by the way, he always does this. Mike Johnson does this very well, this poor singing orphan routine where he's like, me innocent in all this and me have no power over any of this. You control the money, dude. You're the head of the House of Representatives. You control the money. There's a million different ways if you wanted to get this out, including making your members vote, by the way. Those people don't pass gas
without his approval.
Yeah, and so they just voted it down. So I don't believe for a second that he's all that wed to getting the truth out here.
Okay, now Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that the reason they voted it down was because if they do that, they open it up to any amendment, even impeachment.
I got to correct something real quick.
Please.
So it's being reported that House Republicans unanimously voted to block the release of the Epstein files, and I want to straighten out the record right now. That is not true. If I could vote, okay. If I could vote to release the Epstein files, guys, you would have my vote. I would vote yes.
You can.
Here's what just happened. It was a procedural vote, and we have these all the time. It's called a PQ. It's voting on the previous question. And if the Democrats had won the previous question, which I know sounds insane, it's one of these crazy rules in the House that are hard to understand, that means they would control the House floor. And that means they could bring up anything. They could bring up impeachment articles against President Trump. They could bring up a whole package of insane Democrat agenda items.
I'm gonna start doing the thing if she keeps talking.
She's protecting Donald Trump and possible impeachment charges versus getting to the truth of what happened with these Epstein files.
They've already had the vote on impeachment. It failed miserably.
Right.
It's always this doomsday scenario with these people. Well, we couldn't tell you the truth about the most high-profile sex trafficking ring in human history because, well, they might have brought up some impeachment articles. Well, ma'am, is there a vote to impeach Donald Trump? Clearly not. Who cares? And by the way, at this point, if Trump's covering for giving information out about human sex trafficking, maybe he deserves to be impeached.
Okay, well, he was doubling down on the files, saying that they were just made up. This was outside on the tarmac.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden information, and we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Mr. President, you are on tape repeatedly talking about the need for this to be released. You indicated Bill Clinton in
at a CPAC.
Yes.
Yeah.
He acts like these things don't exist. At no point was he like, guys, this is clearly just a Russia hoax. Epstein was a bad guy, but it was very self-contained. We've seen the information. It's not what people wanted to think. You don't get to use this for years. I mean, either one of two things. Either he knew the information was there and serious, as he's alluded to, and now he's covering it up, or, and this is really gross if this is true, he knew there was nothing there.
And used it.
And he used people's vulnerability about wanting to get to the bottom of human sex trafficking and expose and stop human sex trafficking as a campaign issue. I mean, if there is a third option at this point, someone tell me, because I'm going off of what he said on the campaign trail.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the morning news. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Did you know up to 50% of outdoor water use is wasted? And did you know that there are things you can do to help change that? Indiana American Water suggests that you water early or late in the day to reduce evaporation. Also, be sure to fix any leaks and skip watering when rain is in the forecast. Consider rain barrels, mulch your garden, and use drip irrigation for your plants. Be water wise. Conserve today, sustain tomorrow. Find more conservation tips at Indiana American Water's Wise Water Use Resources at indianaamwater.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
I think the Americans for Prosperity might not know their own mission statement.
Would you like to share it with us?
So this is according to the Library of Congress, the Americans for Prosperity. Americans for Prosperity is dedicated to mobilizing citizens to advocate for policies that promote economic freedom and opportunity. And then here's the part that I think they're really confused on. Focusing on fiscal responsibility and limiting government overreach. There was a time where the Americans for Prosperity, I used to feel like was a pretty independent group that held everyone accountable. However, especially in the era of Trump, it seems like they've become nothing more than a complete shill for the establishment of whatever the Republican Party does, and thus I am now publicly demanding they change their name to Americans for the Republican Party.
They said they partner with concerned citizens like you to create change in your community.
No, they don't, Case.
And
They're not
together,
partnering with me.
help improve the lives of millions of Americans. So they have over 4 million advocates in 50 states, 36 different state chapters, and they claim to have knocked on over 14 million doors last year.
Yeah, but we have repeatedly seen the Americans for Prosperity line up behind establishment Republicans who, again, if I were to go back to their mission statement, again, according to the Library of Congress, focusing on fiscal responsibility and limiting government overreach. We saw them support Todd Young in 2022. And I don't think that I think at the time he had added something like $11 trillion to the nation's debt. He famously
big spender.
Famously told me in a room full of people, "I'm never stopping."
Right.
I don't think that's focusing on fiscal responsibility and limiting government overreach. Now, I've tried to do a little math on the fly. It's so hard to keep up with the Duke of Spendingburg these days. But based on his vote for the big bullcrap bill, I've got him at close to $20 trillion now in the time he's been in the U.S. Congress, of the amount of money he's voted to add to the debt. How could you possibly say that's focusing on fiscal responsibility and limiting government overreach? We'll be $57 trillion plus in debt by the end of the big bullcrap bill.
He's never stopping, ever.
And so all of these people, all of our reps, Benny Banks, professional office hopper Aaron Houchin, Baird, Rudy Yakum, turncoat Marlon Stutzman, Messmer, Sparts. I mean, she changed her mind about 5 times, but then in the end did the thing she always does, with just bark a whole bunch and then do whatever her adult supervision tells her to do.
Shreve.
I mean, of course, Shreve did. All of these people voted to add all of this debt, the trillions. I mean, because they keep saying they added $5 trillion. But you got to remember, that $5 trillion was on top of the regular baseline spending, which is adding more than $1 trillion to the nation's debt every single year. And so, Casey, I mean, you're the voice of reason on this program. Adding $20 trillion to the debt over 10 years doesn't sound like focusing on fiscal responsibility or limiting government overreach, does it?
No, it sounds like tax and spend.
Yes. So this was why I was surprised when, I don't know, what was this Cape Crusader's name? Was it Kevin? Was that his name? I forget what his name was. Wade, Timmy. I don't know. Anyway, I think it's on the clip here. Some guy from the AFP Indiana sent out a big hoorah for all these people who just voted to...
He just did a car confessional is what he did. By the way, the Indiana chapter of American for Prosperity says that they are empowering change through grassroots action to unlock freedom and opportunity, making Indiana the hashtag crossroads of prosperity.
Let's see what this little guy had to say about the votes of our esteemed representatives. Okay, well, maybe we'll have it here in a second. Anyway, my point on all this, Casey, is that it is utterly ridiculous that these independent groups who are supposed to be standing up for the taxpayers, who are supposed to be independent voices holding these people accountable, they simply are now just arms of the Republican Party.
They're cheerleading along the way. Well, because they want to be in the club. They want to be accepted and acknowledged by these people.
All right. Well, we didn't do we have that? Okay, very good. Here's Igor, whatever his name is, cheerleading for all the debt going to your kids and grandkids.
Hey everyone, Cody White here with
Go ahead.
Indiana. Right now, we are having our One Big Beautiful Bill bash at our Freedom Embassy headquarters, celebrating the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. Want to give a special thank you to every Republican member of Indiana's congressional delegations, including Senator Jim Banks and Senator Todd Young, along with Representatives Rudy Yakum, Marlon Stutzman, Jim Baird, Victoria Sparts, Jefferson Shreve, Mark Messmer, and Aaron Houchin. Thank you for fighting for Hoosier taxpayers.
What about my kid? She will be a taxpayer. Well, if I'm fortunate to have other children, what about them?
Yeah.
Well, who's fighting for them? How is adding $20 trillion to a tab they don't have any say in? They're not going to get much of the benefit for, and they're going to have to pay it because eventually the tab comes due, right? Deficits are future taxes. That's how this works. How was it? Cody, Aaron,
yes, it was
Timmy,
it was Cody,
Billy, whatever that guy's name was. Hey, Cody, how is that good for them?
Maybe Cody doesn't have children.
Why does Americans for Prosperity believe that continuing to print money for the future people who don't have a say in it, who will be the ones that, it's professional dining and dashing. Why is it that the Americans for Prosperity now think that's a good thing? Think that's worth celebrating? And how does that make you guys anything more than shills for the Republican Party?
Right. Cheerleaders. Tax and spend. That's what they like to do. And apparently this group is on board with it. Jim Merritt is going to join us next.
We're going to talk about just what the hell's going on. Just in government, society.
What's going on?
I feel like
it's a high-level conversation.
We got into this on the State House Happenings show about how our politicians are just basically TikTok stars at this point, and that's why the governance is so bad. Jim will help us try to make some sense of it.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Breaking another Senate tie. It's cloudy and 76 in downtown Indy. Rain in the forecast later this morning. Your high today, 87. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:31. Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking votes in the Senate to move forward with a roughly $9 billion recession package, which axes government spending that has already been approved. The bill aims to slash billions of dollars in foreign assistance, along with funding for NPR and PBS. President Trump is looking to recover money from foreign aid programs targeted by the Department of Government Efficiency. Israel launching more airstrikes in Syria amid clashes between government forces and armed religious minority groups.
A ceasefire between Syrian army soldiers and Druze armed militia groups has collapsed, prompting violent fighting in the southern city of Sweda as Israel threatens to ramp up its involvement in support of the Druze. More than half of the roughly 1 million Druze worldwide live in Syria. The Israeli army also says it struck near the entrance to the Syrian Ministry of Defense in Damascus, just hours after threats from Israel's defense minister to the Syrian government to withdraw from Sweda. Israel has taken an aggressive stance toward Syria's new leader since the fall of President Bashar Assad in December, saying it does not want Islamist militants near its borders, where it has beefed up forces.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers reporting. On November 4th, New York City voters will name a new mayor as the general election begins to heat up. Independent mayoral candidate and former governor Andrew Cuomo joined Fox TV affiliate WNYW and discussed his experience losing the Democratic primary against Zoran Modami.
I played it safe, which is very uncharacteristic for me, as you know, but it was a mistake. And New Yorkers deserve a more vigorous debate because this is a turning point for New York City.
President Trump says he thinks there is a good shot Cuomo can beat Mamdani and threatened that New York City will face dire consequences if the city elects someone that he doesn't like. And now your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 152 points to 44,023. The S&P 500 also up 12 points to 6,243. And the Nasdaq's in the green, 15 points to 22,884. I'm Jarrett Lewis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Are you struggling with bad feet? Hi, this is Phoebe, and at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot, knee, hip, and back pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet arch support system.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So, did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. Maybe that's the reason all the remedies you've tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy, you're gonna feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me, and good movement starts with the feet.
We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free personalized fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome. Helping people live pain-free 2 feet at a time.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
I've had my Window Nation windows installed for a couple of years now, and my air conditioner is no longer working overtime in the summer. These are the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, time for some new Window Nation windows. Check it out, 50% off all Windows styles plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. All the details at windownation.com.
And when Window Nation comes out to your house, they are bringing the best of the best. A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and their staff, years of experience. And look, when we have a heat wave like we had recently, I think you understand how important it is to have good windows that keep the blistering hot out and your perfect climate inside. 50% off all window styles. Any style at all, 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
I've done my best to live the right way. I get up every morning and go to work each day. With your eyes
I think that's your segment today. Yeah. What are we doing?
Not what do we do now?
No. Like,
what are we doing?
What, like, just collectively, what's going on? Because by the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob Casey's here. It is Wednesday. It's 9:30. That means our old pal. Nobody knows Indiana politics and government like him. The great Jim Merritt. Hello.
Hello. Let's try to find our way through the chaos.
Well, so you said we got into this on State House Happenings, which airs Sunday mornings here on the radio station. The podcast is posted later today. It's you. It's me, Abdul. We talk about the kind of big stories each week in Indiana politics and government. And we were talking about, we'll get into this with Abdul later. Abdul, of course, had this scathing piece on Diego, on Micah Beckwith, related to them going to the NBA Finals with this high-profile known felon. And I think you touched on something in State House Happenings. We were talking about, like, how does this happen where we are just now these politicians just, they don't care about anything. They're just going to do what they're going to do. And you made a great point. You said, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
Or that we have entered a new phase of American politics in which the whole goal is to see and be seen. It's like going to the club.
Oh, yeah. They want to be rock stars. They want to be independent of But they need the party when they need the party, but they want to make decisions on their own and really not deliver the service of their offices. Their offices are working just fine. The Attorney General's office does
Beckwith doesn't do anything now. He gave away all his power.
Right.
I mean, his job
with Micah Beckwith, it's all been taken away from him.
Right.
And you know, if we scroll back to December, I told you the legislature would not do that.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
But I was wrong.
Well, because I don't think we all realized how incompetent he actually is. And I think the General Assembly saw that very quick and were like, So let's talk about that real quick, because I say this all the time on the show, and I'm not sure people know what I mean. The lieutenant governor, really from Becky Skillman, who was under Daniels on, was given a variety of responsibilities, offices to oversee, essentially becoming sort of like the de facto governor for several branches of the state, right?
But not only that, it goes back a long, long way to John Mutz when he was lieutenant governor to Bob Orr. I mean, we've had some really good talent with John Mutz, Frank O'Bannon, Joe Kernan, Becky Skillman. All those folks had really great performances as lieutenant governor and some real responsibility.
Yeah, and they're, just like with the Secretary of State, those numbers of agencies' responsibilities have grown.
Yes.
Under Skillman, under Ellsperman, under Crouch.
Yes.
And then enter Beckwith. And what's interesting to me is the General Assembly very quickly looked at this guy and said, no way. Now,
with the support of Governor Braun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And, of course, then Braun creates all these agency heads. Now, they don't just come out in some big press release and say, this guy's a buffoon, we've stripped his responsibilities from him. They in a nice way, are
just
like,
piecemeal.
We've reformed government, right?
Exactly.
And so, really, you went from several responsibilities for lieutenant governor's office, which that's important because your tax money pays that office based on what their responsibilities are.
Right.
And by the end of the legislative session, he was basically down to two things, which was the Office of Community and Rural Affairs and Ag. And then shortly after the legislative session ended, Braun began doing all the ag, and now he's hired some guy who, if you look at the job description, basically does okra. The lieutenant governor now has a $3.5 million office and does nothing.
It's really sad because lieutenant governor, in my whole time in politics, 50 years now, played a significant role, and now he presides over the Senate. And
sometimes
presides over the Senate.
Sometimes he goes and hangs out with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and so
while the Senate might be in session,
or give grant money away. And so it's sad because lieutenant governor can be a powerful position and be a good partner for the governor of the state of Indiana. And right now, it's kind of bereft of responsibility.
So, to bring this full circle, what we're talking about, when we say he has his power taken away, the General Assembly has taken away his ability to govern, and yet there is no fight. He's pushed back on none of this, and you would think if you were serious about government, if you went in as a reformer, you would say, oh, heck no, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D with that office, and I know if you take it away from me, you're not going to make the cuts I'm going to make. You're not going to make the reforms I'm going to make. There was none of that. It was, oh, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's more candy stores and Pizza Kings I can go to.
Well, his platform definitely has disappeared. And
Totally.
I didn't know, I quoted on this program that I didn't think that would happen because I thought they'd give him 6 months or a year to kind of learn the position and his family, Lieutenant Governor Beckwith's family, is deep in farming. And so it makes a great status for the Commission of Agriculture.
So to bring full point, circle what you said on State House Happenings, which I thought was spot on, which is whether it is Diego or it is Micah or it is Rakita, it's like this triangle of terror, right? Mm-hmm. The three of them, the three-headed monster. Mm-hmm. These guys have figured out the public's so apathetic and largely uninformed. They don't know what we're supposed to be doing. We'll just keep getting ourselves on the news, and people will be like, look at them.
They are definitely not staying in their lane. They have two of the three of them have big responsibilities, but they want to be rock stars. They want the party to support them when necessary. They are what I would call children of the convention, so they don't have a primary. So the convention delegates are conservative and are their base, and all they really feel like they have to do is keep them happy and so they can venture out of their lane, if you will, and play the federal Secretary of State or play somebody other than defending the Indiana Code and the consumer, what the Attorney General does. It's they're terribly outside their lane, and people don't really care because it's blurred. People want to get their kids to sleep at night. They want their homework done. They want to get to their job at the appointed time at 8 o'clock in the morning. You get home at 5 and have dinner with their family. They really don't care. They really don't know who the Secretary of State is or what they do or what the Attorney General does.
And that's to bring it all full circle is so Diego can disappear to India for 10 days, and then when you ask him who paid for it, he goes, "I'm not telling you." And then he'll change it to, "I paid for it." And then he'll say, "I'm not showing you any proof that check got cashed or that the receipts match." And it's the same thing with Micah. "Hey, Micah, how'd you end up with a high-profile convicted felon?" "Well, I met him a couple times on the campaign trail." That doesn't make a lot of sense. You're not telling the same story to the same people. Hey, this story's done now because they recognize, other than a handful of people in the media, us, Abdul, who bark about it, the public's not going to have the stones to grill him in person.
You're exactly right, Robert and Casey. The first poll that comes out that they see that something is wrong, that they did something wrong, that they're on the right track, they will adjust. But I just don't think that can happen or will happen.
I feel like when it comes to the lieutenant governor's office, he's really trying to thread the needle. He either needs to be Team Braun or Team Grassroots. And, what's it going to take for a decision to be made on that?
Well, I don't know if he's gotten the memo, but he's really not on Team Braun anymore.
But every now and then he is.
Well, when it's convenient.
Public statements.
Yes.
But then he goes to the other side.
Yeah, and I'm sure Team Braun is saying, hey, let him go out and do what he does, and we'll just ignore him. I think Abdul is right on State House happenings. They just ignore him until he really makes a mistake that is affecting Braun. And don't kid yourselves. These individuals, these candidates, or these office holders are polling all the time, and they know exactly where the pulse is and where it isn't, and if there's a pulse.
Hey, question before I let you go, because I've told Casey this and our audience this for months now. And the way you're going to fix this is if people, the 50,000 people who listen to us every day, get as mad and as mean about it as we are.
Oh, that's exactly
Why would they do it? When you see these people out in public, why does it take me having to drive an hour on a Friday night to go be the guy who grills Diego? Why, when people see these people out in public, why do they give them a free pass? Why is it only us that will do it? Because it's not going to change until people get the memo and start behaving like until there's 50,000 people behaving the way we behave.
Oh, I know, but you had a spectacular demonstration at the State House, and look what that got you.
I mean, we weren't mean enough. That's the problem.
Well, there wasn't enough of you, or it's going to have to take some sort of crushing thing. But, we had the riots 5 years ago in downtown Indianapolis, and it didn't take down Joe Hoxha with that.
That's a great point. Maybe we are just here entertaining ourselves at this point.
You're entertaining 50,000 people, of which I love talking to at 9:30 on Wednesdays.
You can find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt. You can also find the very fabulous Merritt in the Morning podcast on Facebook as well as YouTube. Jim Merritt, thank you.
Robert.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, if Trump is winning the trade war, then the sky's the limit, isn't it? That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. Now maybe you're like Casey and myself, you've chosen a vow of poverty with a career in radio. If that's you, you still can afford beautiful windows in your home thanks to this incredible deal going on with Universal Windows Direct. See how I did that? So I weaved together how poor we are, and yet we can still afford beautiful windows. Listen to this deal right now. You got two options. This is so great. First of all, you can choose payments as low as $99 a month. That's right, $99 a month, all new windows in your home. Or 12 months with no interest and no payments. That's right. 1 year, no interest, no payments. You make the call. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the details and schedule a totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate, you call Universal Windows Direct today. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Check all their work out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Guys, fight back against low energy with TRT at Low T Center. TRT has never been easier with the new app powered by Synergen X Health.
Take the test, get the results, and control the treatment right from your phone. Book right now while the test is free. FixMyLowT.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
More tariffs later, tornadoes possible.
WIBC.com gives you more than just headlines. It's context, updates, and insight. Whether you're at work, on the move, or catching up late, the latest is already there. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC.com.
I think your need for fame and fortune is getting the better of you.
You think so?
I think you're being catfished.
I don't know, Rob. Looks pretty legit to me.
I watched a documentary on just this last night.
Really?
Except it was the guy that called him the Dexter Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was obsessed with the TV show Dexter.
Yeah.
And then he started like catfishing men on the internet to get him to come to his creepy garage.
Mm-hmm.
And then he killed the guy there. And it was the guy, in this case, the guys needed to be with some woman they had no chance of being with.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if some woman sends you a photo and it's grainy, like it's been saved numerous times from various platforms,
sure,
you're being catfished. Okay, can we just lay that out? All right, so some person, we won't say their name and we won't say the organization because I think your need to tout yourself
for this.
as some
it
sort
just
of
came to me.
Award winner, which you're award winner in our hearts. By the way, this person does not appear to have an American name. That should be the other.
That's the first clue.
Yeah, said that you've won some sort of prestigious award.
No, you have as well, Rob.
Oh.
You're in this soup with me.
But I didn't get the email.
So it says the Kendall and Casey podcast has been selected by their panelists.
Oh, they're panelists.
As one of the top 100 Indianapolis podcasts on the web.
Wait, how many? Oh, top 100 Indianapolis podcasts.
Correct.
How many podcasts are in Indianapolis?
Well, they list quite a few. Would you
Oh.
like to hear some of the people we're competing against?
Are we giving these people free publicity on our very valuable show?
Why not?
Okay.
Because number 2 on the list is the Fan Morning Show.
Oh, did we beat the Fan?
No, they beat us.
Oh, they beat us.
Number 3 was Hammer and Nigel.
Oh.
And then it's like Colts Corner, Locked on Pacers, Locked on Colts, Bring the Juice. And
There's a podcast called Bring the Juice?
Mm-hmm. Well, according to this list, there is.
Huh.
And then you've got Jay Query has one. And
So basically, they just went through the list of all the Urban One podcasts, put them in a list, and said, "Congratulations, you're one of the top 100."
You're on the list, so we're getting recognized of doing our job.
Is there some sort of link? Are they asking you for a social security number of some sort, or what,
mother's maiden name, blood type? No, they're not asking for that.
What's the catch here?
They want us to mention their name.
You don't even know if we're on. Like, what does that mean? Though we're on the list. What do we? Is there some sort of monetary? Is there going to be a large check?
It's a major award, Rob.
Yeah, that's the question. Is it like is some guy going to show up with a big check like at the golf tournaments?
No, we were 29 on the list.
Oh, we're number 29.
Out of 100.
How is that possible? We're the overwhelming number one rated radio program from 9 to noon of all radio stations in Central Indiana. How could our podcast only be 29? Are we losing to the Juice one?
We are. Yes, we're losing to the Juice.
Oh, we lost
one.
to the Juice.
We're losing to a couple of different churches as well that have podcasts.
Which good for them. Maybe it's a phenomenal church-based podcast.
Absolutely, it could be. I'm just letting you know.
So they want us.
We're losing to an Indie Star one. What?
Yeah. No, we're not having this guy.
Bogus.
I think
that list is wrong.
Was there a link to click? What does this guy want? How does he get into your bank account?
He doesn't. He would just be grateful if we could spread the word by briefly mentioning it.
Oh, you should respond to him and say, when you list us as number one, then we will mention you
Then
guys.
we'll mention you by name.
Where we are in the ratings.
For now, we're just alluding to your existence.
So how does this guy make money? What does he do? What's his little thing?
I don't know.
I mean, how does
I don't know what his business model is.
Kevin, you're a young person.
Do you want me to call him and ask him?
Yes, find out. How would a guy compiling a list of stuff, how would he make money off of that? What's his end game here?
Clicks?
I'm trying to think ahead, but I don't know if I can figure out his.
Because he's not running
tactics.
a soup kitchen. Anu, or whatever the guy's name was.
You said his name.
That's not his name. His name is not Anu.
You don't think so?
It's in the ballpark of Anu, but that's not his actual name.
It seems like a very clever scheme.
Well, we want to know.
is.
You need to respond to him because I bet it goes to some sort of spam filter or some guy in Nigeria is going to write back to you. But what you need to say is, number one, we will not promote any list that doesn't rank us number one where we are in the ratings.
Except for right now.
And number two, how does this ski marino work? Tell us the dirty details.
He said we've created a badge for you to share with your audience.
A badge?
A badge.
Like, could I put this? Like, could I clip this on my belt buckle?
No,
and
it's like a clip art badge.
Oh.
Something that you could put on your social media.
It won't get me out of speeding tickets or into sporting events.
It says Top Indianapolis Podcast. There's a little gold microphone down there.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, I just click the link and I get the badge. There it is.
Your phone is going to be taken over by some sort of foreign government because you've clicked all of those things.
As if it's not already. It's already listening to me. Why wouldn't it be taken over?
That was some compelling radio right there.
You like
Hard
that?
to believe. Hard to believe he didn't.
Congratulations, Rob.
Hard to believe
You're in the top 100 Indianapolis podcasts.
It's hard to believe he didn't list us number one after that compelling segment we just did right there.
Let's talk about the state's budget coming up, shall we? It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 110,425. Corsair MSRP 53,915. 3,500 due at lease signing. Zero security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Pat Sullivan here with an offer from my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling that you don't want to miss. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old air conditioning unit for up to $1,500 with the purchase of a complete heating and cooling system. It's time to call them if you're hot. Don't wait for the next heat wave to be caught sweating at home. Act now before the offer ends. Stay cool and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers.
And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Hey, the Johnson County Fair is going on now. Join us, Hammer and Nigel, at the Farm Bureau building at the Johnson County Fair this Thursday.
Have one of their famous milkshakes and stick around for the rodeo that starts at 7 o'clock. That's this Thursday, 3 to 7 at the Johnson County Fair with Hammer and Nigel.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, who's been charged now in relation to crimes committed around downtown from earlier this month? The chance of severe weather today and later on this week. Who police arrested in connection to a fatal stabbing, and what happened to Fever guard Caitlin Clark in last night's win over Connecticut. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Vice President Vance may be needed at the Senate again tonight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, to do the same thing he did last night.
On this vote, the yeas are 50 and the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the motion is agreed to.
Now, that advanced what's called a rescissions package to claw back more than $9 billion in already appropriated federal funding. A final vote could come later today.
This is the first time Congress has voted to approve DOGE cuts. This trims money from foreign aid programs and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but Lisa Murkowski opposes the cuts.
If you don't like what's going on within NPR, you think that there's too much bias there, we can address that. We can address that, but you don't need to gut the entire Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Now, she and two other Republicans voted no, leading to Vice President Vance's tiebreaker. Democrats say this is another example of the Trump administration seizing too much power. The House is considering cryptocurrency legislation, including regulations on what are called stable coins tied to the value of the U.S. dollar. President Trump supports it and talked to a group of conservatives who were opposed. But GOP Congressman Ralph Norman tells Fox Business.
He worked through the why of it, and now I think the 12 that were against it will vote for it, and we'll pass it this morning.
Some Democrats worry the legislation could lead to more crypto scams. We have a new inflation update showing no increase at the wholesale level last month. And unlike consumer prices, which rose last month, the producer price index showed an annual wholesale inflation rate decline down to 2.3%. The number of illegal border crossings dropped again last month to a new record low as more here illegally are kicked out.
5 immigrant detainees from Vietnam, Laos, Jamaica, Cuba, and Yemen have been sent to the southern African kingdom of Eswatini, formerly named Swaziland. The Trump administration describing the deportees as criminal illegal aliens.
That's Lillian Wu. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Charging more from the holiday weekend violence. It's 76 and cloudy in Indianapolis, a chance of showers and storms today. High today, 86. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office is filing more charges against those tied to violence over the July 4th weekend in Indy. 4 more young people and 3 adults have now been charged. Those charged include a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and 2 14-year-olds. The charges include criminal recklessness and resisting arrest. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey on WIBC's Tony Katz this morning, speaking to recent gun violence and the work of his officers.
Well, I mean, I think I have a responsibility, especially after what had happened, the previous weekend in downtown Indianapolis, where, frankly, I've got a tremendous amount of positive feedback about speaking the truth.
Chief Bailey called out parents, saying it starts with them keeping guns out of the hands of young kids and letting them wander around downtown unsupervised looking for trouble. That has led to the implementation of a curfew. Police making an arrest in the fatal stabbing of a woman in Indianapolis. IMPD said Tuesday that they took 52-year-old Brandon Lewis into custody not long after the stabbing. They believe the two got into an argument and he stabbed and killed the 69-year-old woman. Lewis is now charged with murder. Severe storms with strong winds expected to hit Indiana late today. Areas that have already seen heavy rain in the past few days will be especially at risk.
Across western portions of the metro area, they got pretty heavy rain during the afternoon yesterday, so we'll be keeping a close eye there. And then down towards the Columbus area, they got some pretty heavy rain during the overnight. So that's just another area we'll be watching for the potential for additional flooding.
Forecaster Andrew White from the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says rain may come and go through the weekend. Temperatures rising above 90 degrees also. Things starting to click for the Indiana Fever. They have won 3 in a row now as they upend the Connecticut Sun 85-77 last night in Boston. Sophie Cunningham says it wasn't pretty, but it's a win.
For us, it's just making sure that we're knowing player personnel, that we're following our scout, that we're working as a unit. We're not on islands, and I think the last 3 games we've done a pretty good job. And you know what? Sometimes you have to win ugly, but at least we won.
Caitlin Clark had a solid game, finishing with 14 points, but left later on with an apparent groin injury again. Her status for tonight's game against the New York Liberty, unknown. It's the team's last game before the All-Star break here in Indianapolis. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Hey, just a heads up, the Social Security Administration just announced they're now projected to run out of money 1 year earlier than expected. Your benefits could be cut by as much as 23%, and the average person could lose more than $100,000 in lifetime income. Discover how you could get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
So, if you've saved more than $200,000 but have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now. Just call 317-648-5120. This is not some off-the-shelf report. This is a customized analysis that could help you get every penny out of your Social Security. And it's free. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Did you know at one point we had $6 billion in our reserves?
We don't have that anymore.
No, you know what they did?
What?
They spent it.
Yeah. Why?
Because,
so that you couldn't get any of it back.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
They freely admitted we are spending this money.
Where'd they get it from?
Well, some of it was printed.
Oh, there you go.
So when Mitch Daniels became governor, one of the many fine things Mitch Daniels did, and there are some things he did that we've been pretty candid about. See stadium down this taxpayer-funded football stadium down the street from us. We're not thrilled with. But one of the fine things Mitch Daniels did is he said, if the government revenues reach a certain point, there's no reason for that much money to just sit collecting dust. Like, we should have X amount to run the government. If we run it in an efficient business-like manner, you need a certain amount in reserves. I believe the number was $2 billion that they came up with. And they said, because they're always like, well, we would only have enough to run the government for X amount of days. On what planet? Like, can you imagine if you got down to, well, we only have enough to run the government for 30 days. On what planet would you be in your reserves running the government for 30 days? That means there's been some catastrophic event in which we're all going back to basically feudal times, you know, pulling things. And, I mean, there's way bigger problems than you will never need 30 days of reserves to run the government. But, okay, that's the number we're going to pick. Fine. Seems reasonable. I believe the number was $2 billion. And then Mitch said everything on top of that, that's someone else's money. Let's give it back to them.
That was nice.
Yeah, and I believe on multiple occasions, under Mitch, the money was some small amount was sent back to the public at large. And then that stopped happening. Holcomb and his little band of misfits got very good at spending right to the number. Like, whatever the number to not trigger the refund was, We'll create a government program.
Sure.
We'll grow a government program. We'll give a gajillion dollars to the IEDC. By whatever means necessary, we have to make sure you don't get any money back.
Right.
And then we create these government programs or expand them, and that becomes the new baseline. And then if we ever try to reform them, see the position we're currently in, you're cutting the government.
Right.
As though it was always that big, as though it always grew to that capacity. So during COVID, and I think this was before you got here, if you'll recall, they had so much money coming in from the federal government, they couldn't spend it fast enough. Like they tried, like they physically tried.
Right.
It was everybody gets on Medicaid, blah, 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 all these other things. Like they physically tried. They could not spend the money fast enough. And you'll recall we got, I don't know, $125 or some paltry amount back. And the legislature was just beside themselves that they had to send money back to the people. And at that point, they made a calculated effort. They spent, there was $6 billion in reserves at one point, and then they deliberately spent it down on one-time expenses to get it out of the triggering the refund. And two, they then changed the law so that it made it basically impossible for you to ever get the refund ever again.
We don't want that to ever happen again.
Right. So, all of that being said, when now we look around and there are these, won't somebody think of the children people screaming about how that they had to do these cuts or changes to the government or whatever. Remember, the government grew by leaps and bounds during Holcomb to deliberately keep you from getting money back, and they would find ways and things to grow the government on so that now they can go, oh, these poor singing orphans, look at all these cuts that are happening to government.
We don't have any money. Well, they closed the fiscal year 25 with $2.5 billion in reserves, which is equivalent to 40 days.
Now, that used to trigger an automatic refund. I believe the number was $2 billion. They then changed it to where I think if the number was less than $5 billion now, this seems to be the number that stood out at the time. Now, the money, I think the rule was they changed it if it's between $2.5 and $5 billion, it automatically goes to pay the teacher pension fund debt down, and then anything below that, nobody gets anything, and it just stays in the status quo. So conveniently, Case, what was the number it came in on?
It was $2.5 billion.
Boy, howdy! What was that number I just told you?
It was.
Isn't that amazing how that works? And there's zero reason you would ever need 40 days worth of government expenditures. That would never, ever happen. However, one of the things that they failed to mention is they had to raise taxes to pay the bills this time. So they cheated, right? I mean, that's what that is. We can't do it. We can't live within our means. So we're just going to take money from people. You do that in the real world. I can't pay my bill, so I'm going to steal money from someone by force. That's called theft. In the government, that's called responsible management of
They're doing that on the
trust.
federal level, too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they've been bragging about that.
So you, and by the way, I love, so like the state of Indiana has to balance its budget. It does. Like they always brag about, we balanced our budget. It's an honestly balanced. You don't have a choice. You're not the federal government. You can't print money. The states are legally required to balance their budget. And every time they do the biennial budget, every 2 years, they'll balance the budget by force.
Look what we did.
We balanced the budget. So basically what you're telling me is we're getting nothing, and it's the status quo.
So revenue is forecasted to grow 1.4% next year and just 0.1% in 27.
Now, wait a minute. Say that first part of that sentence again, Casey, because that's very important.
Revenue / taxes forecasted to grow 1.4% in 26.
Okay, now pause. Because just yesterday there was a big signing ceremony with the axis of evil, the triangle of terror. It was Braun and Thompson and Holdman about how they were going to do this big tax cut for people. Yet in the fine print, you realize the government has to grow at a rate of 3.5%,
right?
Which hasn't happened in 20 years. And what was the projected number for next year, Case?
For next year, 1.4.
Now, 1.4 is less than 3.5. So that means then you're going to get nothing, which means Braun and Holdman and Thompson did this big signing, which the AFP people were there bragging about, by the way.
Correct.
There's those old AFP, Americans for the Republican Party, again, which means you're going to get nothing, which means that was a big charade, and those guys lied.
Well, it's even better because in 27, it's only expected to grow 0.1%.
And 0.1 is less than 3.5.
Correct.
So that means you'll get nothing.
Right.
Which means that was a charade.
Correct.
Now, do you think Grandpa Braun knows that he lied? Or is he mentally so far gone that he doesn't even know anymore when he's signing stuff?
But they took a first vital step, Rob.
What was that?
Having the ceremony.
Oh! We had to have the signing ceremony.
We got to make it look good.
Yes, the thing that's not going to happen can't potentially happen, which is never going to happen unless we have the signing ceremony.
Now, more on this because I know this is going to get you going. Governor Mike Braun, he was defending the big, beautiful bill, right? And he was dismissing anybody's concerns about it. He compared federal borrowing to a household taking loans from children and said, no one does that. What were you complaining about earlier?
But isn't that what the bill is?
Yeah.
They're taking money.
Mm-hmm.
So what? But I thought you said he was defending the bill.
He was defending it.
But that's
He
what
was
the entire
saying-
bill is.
Right.
So
He's
how is
saying,
it?
But he's saying nobody does that.
But then why is he defending it? So this is the question
Doing exactly what he said they're not doing.
Right. So now you're left with two options then based on the description you've just given me. Either Braun is a pathological liar. Like I'm talking like, American greed level of sociopathic behavior here. Or, and we've heard this from many people, and you saw the photo the other day. Did Braun look like he knew where he was in that photo?
Which one? With the three of them?
Well, the one where they look like it's Weekend at Bernie's, where they're like propping
Stiff,
Grandpa up.
right.
And people have talked about Braun's rather frail, feeble appearance in public. I am challenging Mike Braun to take a cognitive test in front of the state and see how he does. I'm not sure he could pass because why would he lie about that? Clearly, he doesn't even know what the bill does that he's defending.
Right.
That's very much cause for concern. Here's the only problem with that. If Braun gets kicked out and they determine he can't pass the cognitive test,
Oh, boy.
Dumbass Incorporated down the hall from him starts running the show. So we really are.
You're talking about the TikTok lieutenant governor?
Yes. So either our choices are a guy who might not be able to pass a cognitive test or con man or us running our state. That's our choice now.
Uh-huh.
Who goes third in the line of...
Is it treasurer?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. Kevin,
Comptroller?
can you Google the lineups to find out who would be third in our... Because Diego's in there somewhere. We don't want any part of that.
Well, wasn't it Daniel Elliott who was saying that Diego thinks he's next in line when really he's not?
Who is next? If it's
I'm going to say
Elliott...
it's comptroller and then treasurer and then secretary of state.
Okay. Because I wouldn't put it past Diego pulling shenanigans to somehow elevate himself past whoever's supposed to actually be third.
He does think it's him. Governor Braun emphasized that Indiana will find more efficient ways to absorb any federal cuts from the big, beautiful bill.
By that, he means raising taxes like he did this time?
Correct.
Do you think he knows he raised taxes? I'm serious. Like, if you were to ask Braun to sit down right now, of course, he will never come on the show ever again. But if you were to ask Braun right now, sit down and explain what you did.
No, he's been out there bragging about cuts.
Indiana line of succession. Let's see what artificial intelligence will do. Gubernatorial line of succession. Oh, see, Wikipedia's made this super easy for me. I can just click on my state. Okay, here we go. According to this is not good. Oh, no, we got to get to number 4. We got to get to 4th in the line before there's anybody decent. According to this, it's Grandpa. Grandpa's 1.
Governor Braun.
Conman Incorporated is 2.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith.
Right. Then Houston gets to go 3rd.
Oh.
That's not good.
Okay.
Then so the Flanders boys go 2 and 3 in the line.
Okay.
It's Houston and then Bray. Well, that's not going to be good.
Wow.
And we're not going to elevate past both of them.
Okay.
Then it would be Daniel Elliott.
Okay.
And then
State
Nishala.
treasurer.
And then Diego is 6th.
Diego is 6th.
Diego is 6th. This is according to the Wikipedia line of succession. Yeah, that's not good. So there's no chance we can ever get to anybody decent. So we're just screwed. The guy who may not be able to pass the cognitive test is probably still our best option at this point.
Speaking of the speaker, Todd Houston, he announced the 24 summer study committee assignments. We'll review those. And also, speaking of cognitive tests, Donald Trump had something to say about them. And we'll share that with you coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's
Now
betting.
we pay for it.
We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out our variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
Summer committees.
Huh?
Summer committees.
Oh.
They want to figure out what they're going to talk about. They're going to explore topics like healthcare access and quality, education improvements, public safety, quality of life for Hoosiers.
So this is what the General Assembly is focusing on this summer.
Mhm.
Somebody should have let them know we're almost through July.
Right.
Summer's almost over. It'd be time to get going on those summer study. When does summer end? Is September summer?
It's Labor Day, typically, right?
Yeah, because what's the song say? Will I see you in September or lose you to a summer love?
Mhm.
So I think by September 1, you got to be done.
Houston highlighted the importance of preparation before the legislative session.
So they got a month and a half?
Mhm.
How much studying are they actually going to do in a month and a half?
They've got agendas to make. They've
Well-
got hearing schedules to make.
It sounds like the ones they always do, though.
Mhm.
Don't the ones we always... You know what was missing off there, though?
Oh, a property tax reform.
Or local government reform. Did
Yeah.
you say local government reform?
No.
Now, that's crazy because Grandpa Dementia told those people at his house that he's got this trick up his sleeve,
Right.
card up his sleeve, I
Right.
think was the
He's
word
got
they
a
were
plan.
using. But yet you'd think if you were going to do some sort of plan, I mean, it is July, and Org Day is November. That's where they announce all the stuff they're going to prioritize. Since you got absolutely nothing good accomplished on property taxes this year, and in fact just made it worse, and you had a whole year and a half on that one, you'd think you'd want to be moving and maybe want to have some sort of committee to study local government. Of course, they don't really even have to study it. It was studied for them almost 20 years ago. Kern and Shepard, they did the whole report.
Just dust it off and
just
review that.
Here, boom.
That's the committee.
Here, let me tell you how it starts. Township government goes away. There. That spoiler alert, right? I didn't have time to read the whole novel. How's it end?
So you mentioned cognitive decline, and I wanted to play this clip from Donald Trump. He's talking about AOC and Jasmine Crockett, but listen to this.
You know, AOC, look, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her and Crockett, we're going to give them both an IQ test to see who comes out best. Now, I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test. Anyway, have a good time.
He's comparing a cognitive test to an IQ test.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, older people, oftentimes as part of the Medicare requirement every year, you got to take this cognitive test. And obviously, I'm not of the age where I'd be taking it, but it's my understanding, having parents who have taken the test, they tell you to draw a certain time on a clock because there's some sort of deal. If you've got some sort of cognitive decline, you can't draw a certain time. And then when you walk in, they'll say, okay, I'm going to tell you 3 things, and then we're going to come back to them, and your job is to
remember them,
you know,
repeat them
whatever.
back.
and people with the ability, with good, sound memory, mind, whatever, should be able to memorize those things. Now, there's some people who simply just can't do it. It doesn't mean they're in the throes of Alzheimer's, but most people should be able to do it. And there's many people who lead productive lives who just for whatever reason can't do it. But that's the test Trump took. He didn't take an IQ test.
Correct.
They asked him to remember apple, duck, banana. That's what they asked him to do.
I know. He's thinking of the same thing. They are not.
And by the way, I think all the members of Congress should have to take an IQ test. I think on both sides of the aisle. I think you would be, and the Supreme Court people.
An IQ test or a
an
cognitive
IQ test.
decline test?
No, an IQ test.
Okay.
I think, both.
And let's rank them.
Yeah, let's
put it out there.
That's both. Like, I think you would be, blown away on both sides of the aisle at how low the level of intelligence of some of these people in the Congress who are making choices for you actually are. I think the same thing for Ketanji Brown Jackson, as Joe Biden would say. I think if you saw how genuinely stupid she is, and she is one of the 9 most powerful people in the country, it would rock this country to its core.
Have you ever taken one?
An IQ test?
Yeah.
Well, no, isn't that like, no, the last time I took
They take a while. There's like 140 questions.
Last time I took one was, the SAT is kind of an IQ test.
Kind of.
It's a glorified IQ test.
Mhm.
And I passed that with flying colors.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
I got into college.
Yeah.
But that was 20 years ago.
Mhm.
I might be willing to do that for charity. Like, okay, here's the deal. If Diego would take one.
Oh, right.
I might be willing to take one with him.
Okay.
And the money.
Wouldn't that be something?
The money goes to Project Rescue.
Have you two sitting at a desk?
We'll find some way to fundraise off of that. And since our federal government doesn't give a damn about human sex trafficking, we'll raise some money for the fine folks at Project Rescue.
Hey, speaking of Diego, Indie Reporter is putting out a few things. One that he had a meet and greet in March, perhaps. He racked up a large bill with Verde Flavors of Mexico.
So the campaign finance reports are due, and you can, it's a public document, you can get on the interwebs and see who's buying and selling our politicians. And no doubt these people are just giving thousands and thousands of dollars out of the goodness of their heart. No doubt it's just totally because of the incredible charisma and pleasant demeanor and keen intellect our office holders are showing. Or you can believe that when people give that amount of money, they actually really demand something in return. And Indie Reporter will be with us on Friday. He has found a treasure trove of interesting donations that have come into the Secretary of State, which are raising a bevy of red flags, including the one that's most interesting is that Diego allegedly had a meet and greet on the 17th of March. Now, Case, you may remember the 17th of March. I believe that was St. Patrick's Day, correct?
Oh, right. Where were you?
We were being lied to by Governor Dementia at the State House. And see, this is why I'm concerned about the governor's mental faculties, because remember, that was where he held up the sign, rolled up the sleeves,
Sure, said,
I'll fight for you, and then
Who owns your house?
And then he did the exact opposite,
right?
Which no one would ever allude to our governor just being a pathological liar and a weak-kneed politician. So the only logical explanation is he doesn't remember that happened.
Diego has good taste in restaurants, though. I'm just going to point that out because he spent $62 at Cafe Patachou and then $2,500 at Verde Flavors of Mexico.
Okay, wait. Why would his campaign account, that's not some big event. So he's then apparently eating meals and then just writing those off on his campaign account?
The purpose was campaign meal. And then for Cafe Patachou, purpose campaign meal.
With who? Does it say with who?
No, it doesn't.
Was it just him? Was he eating a campaign meal?
Now, wait, they're both listed on March 17th, the same day.
Yes, this is my point.
He was eating a lot that day.
Yeah, boy, howdy. So now you may remember March 17th was our little rally at the State House where the governor lied to 1,000 people. And that was also, I believe, St. Patrick's Day. And then what's interesting is we know for a fact, according to the Indiana Capitol Chronicle, Diego was out of the country on the mysterious India trip on the 18th because he no-showed that was the budget thing that he no-showed, according to the Capitol Chronicle,
right?
In which his staff said he's on an economic development mission, which we now know was India. So this is a weird way that this all works, that he had time to allegedly go to this mysterious meet and greet that he got money for, but then the very next day he didn't have time to show up for you, the taxpayer, and he was out of the country.
And,
that's suspicious, isn't it?
During the rally, he was just right down the street because he was at Cafe Patishu on Washington Street.
Well,
he could have walked right over to the State House
eating
and joined
a $62 campaign meal.
Right.
So there's a whole bunch of fun stuff that the Indy Reporter has found. By the way, follow them on Twitter at Indy_Reporter_. And we're going to talk about some of those campaign donations on Friday because he's compiling a list and checking it twice as we speak.
Yeah. But up next, we're going to be joined by Joseph Borka.
There is a lawsuit. He is suing the leadership of the Indiana Republican Party, and that's enough for me. I don't even care what it's about. If you're suing the leadership of the Indiana Republican Party, I'm team you, and we've got to find out why he's suing those no good, rotten ingrates.
That's on the way from 93 WIBC.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days: honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today, 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More action in the Senate. It's 77 and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 85. Chance of showers and storms throughout the day as well. I'm Jarrett Lewis from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:30. The Senate advancing a package to slash more than $9 billion in federal funding from public media and foreign aid programs.
This is the first time Congress has voted to approve DOGE cuts. This trims money from foreign aid programs and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but Lisa Murkowski opposes the cuts. Murkowski was one of three Republicans who voted to block the bill from the floor. The others were Mitch McConnell and Susan Collins. Vice President Vance had to break a tie to start debate. Democrats accused Republicans of ceding too much power of the purse to President Trump.
Fox's Chad Pergam reporting the president is looking to recover money from foreign aid programs targeted by DOGE. Members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus holding a press conference this morning announcing 5 new task forces that aim to help Democrats win back the majority in the House next year. Caucus Deputy Chair and Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar vowed to ensure the U.S. stands up for human rights all around the world.
From bombing Iran without congressional approval to the dismantling of U.S. aid, a program that has saved millions of lives around the world, to ending the refugee resettlement program that closes the door on those fleeing unthinkable situations. This task force is needed now more than ever.
Congresswoman Omar announced as the new chair of the Promoting Peace and Security Task Force. Inflation at the wholesale level tame in the month of June. The producer price index unchanged last month. And an arrest has been made in the fatal shooting of American Idol music supervisor Robin Kay and her husband Thomas DeLucia. The LAPD confirmed that a 22-year-old suspect was arrested in connection with the double murder. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob. You know, it's Wednesday. That means Sunday's going to be here before, what is that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. And this Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or even a first church home, check out the place we call home, Life Church. We attend the Eagle Creek campus. But for you, you're in luck. They have campuses all across central Indiana. Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. And they've got great online services. Life Church would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Check them out on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. No irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Hammer Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
It's the home of the brave and the land of the free, where the less you know, the better.
Casey, someone's suing the Republican Party.
What? Say that again?
I'm all here for it. Yeah, that was enough, right?
Somebody's suing the Republican Party? Is it Rob Kendall?
Someone other than me. Yes. Someone other than Rob Kendall is suing the Indiana Republican Party. Mm-hmm. This is interesting. This has actually made the news over the last couple days. We've had him on our program before, Joseph Bortka. He's a precinct committeeman in Marion County. He was also a convention delegate in 2024. And he is suing, or getting ready to, I guess we should say, we'll get to the bottom of it here in just a second, the Indiana Republican Party over basically him saying they've been a bunch of dirty, rotten scoundrels at their state convention and they're rigging the rules against regular people.
That sounds about right. So the complaint alleges that the party leadership repeatedly silenced the delegates. I'm curious about this because you have three people in state positions: Diego Morales, Secretary of State; Micah Beckwith, Lieutenant Governor; and also Daniel Elliott, State Treasurer.
And Rokita.
Oh, and Rokita, Attorney General, who were all chosen by the delegates. So that doesn't seem like they've been silenced to me, but what do I know?
Yeah, let's find out. Joseph Bortka joins us now. All right, Bortka, I don't even care what the lawsuit's about. I just hope you make the Republican Party waste a whole bunch of money. Tell us what the lawsuit's about.
Well, I would like to make one small correction to what you said. Mm-hmm. The way that this lawsuit is set up is actually the Indiana Republican Party is suing the state committee.
Wait. Okay, wait. Time out. What do you mean here? Because the news reports I'd read, basically, they read it as though you're suing the Republican Party. That's not accurate?
So I am the named plaintiff, but in a derivative suit, which is what this is, what you're doing is you're taking on the mantle of the association of the corporation because somebody who's exercising control over the association is not doing their job. And so you'll actually see this kind of lawsuit a lot in corporate settings. In Delaware courts, they're much more familiar with it. If you recall, a few years ago, there's that guy that sued Tesla because Elon Musk was paid too much, is what he alleged. You might remember that on the news. Well, in that case, they were saying, well, the board of directors was behaving in a self-dealing way towards Tesla shareholders because they gave Elon Musk so much money.
Okay, this is fascinating. So basically what you're saying is, as a member of the Indiana Republican Party, I don't feel the leadership is doing their job.
Yes.
Interesting.
Say more words.
Yeah. Okay, so this is actually years in the making. The shenanigans at the conventions have been going back years, and I know you mentioned that we've had some big wins over the last we've had some big wins over the last few years as far as candidates. But what this is actually about, it's not about the candidates. And what a lot of people want to push it into is, the candidates that we wanted won, so they're winning everything, right? Well, this is actually about the policy. So you see, in the final thing that really crystallized this lawsuit, we were trying to get resolutions passed at the conventions with specific policy instructions for our Republican elected officials, such as eliminating property tax on homesteads, solidifying our laws about election integrity, and making sure that the government never tries to enforce vaccine mandates or any of this ridiculous COVID policies ever again.
Okay, so real quick, let me explain. So what you're saying is you want language in the official party platform, which of course then will be ignored in the order in which it is received, because that's how the Republicans operate. But at least in the actual party language, saying we, the Republican Party, stand for these things.
Well, actually, what this lawsuit is about is it's about the ability of delegates to be able to bring these things up in the convention, because they haven't even been allowed to bring them up in the official convention meeting for at least the last two conventions.
Okay, explain how that works. Like you tried, let's just pull something out, for example. That, let's say you said, I want permanent language in the Republican Party platform that says we are against forcing somebody to get an experimental jab that in hindsight didn't keep anyone from getting COVID. And you say, I want to do that, and somebody just says, no, sit down and shut up. Like, what happens?
Yes, basically. So in a deliberative assembly, in a big meeting like a convention or like in the legislature, every member of the body, every member of the convention, which is the delegates, every member of the House of Representatives, which is a representative, they have certain rights to bring business before the assembly. And what's been happening in our convention is that the delegates have been denied the rights to bring business before the assembly, to debate motions that are brought before the assembly. And so, for example, in 2022, Ken Colbert, who I think you've had him on your show, he was denied the right to debate the adoption of the rules. So they do their thing where they act like they're following the rules, and they say, "Oh, I make a motion to do this." Well, once they make a motion, every delegate in that convention has a right to debate that motion and say, "I support this motion," or I would ask you to vote no on this motion.
So they're cutting that off.
Yes. So they're trying to make it look like they're following the rules, but they're actually undermining the rights of all the delegates in the process.
Joseph Bortka is our guest. Now we have clarity on what he's. By the way, have you actually filed the suit yet?
Yes, we have. It's been filed as of Sunday.
Okay, very good.
The anniversary of the enactment of the Northwest Ordinance.
Very good. Okay, so he is suing the leadership of the Indiana Republican Party over how they've been handling their state convention and various other matters. Again, any person who's suing the leadership of the Republican Party, I don't care what the lawsuit's about, I'm on their team. Now, we do have a question because our old pal Bobblehead Beckwith is on your list of people that signed on to this. Now, I will tell you, you need to be very careful with Micah because no one will shoot you in the back faster and then look at you and say, well, you should have been more focused on gun safety than Micah Beckwith. So tell us about this list of people that are behind you. Beckwith seems a little odd because his office got asked about this the other day and they were no comment.
So everybody who's on the list, we made sure we didn't just put people's names on there. You know, we talked with people before and asked for their support before putting them on there. But
so there's no doubt then that Micah Beckwith supports you guys suing the leadership of the Republican Party.
I would say that he supports the rights of the delegates to make decisions for the Republican Party. That's how I would put it.
All right.
And if this is what we have to do to get that, then I think he supports us 100%.
Are you guys seeking monetary damages? What do you
No.
What's the outcome you want?
We want governance reforms. So we're not asking for money. We just want the party organization to operate the way that they present themselves to operate, which is as a polity, with the convention having real authority. Because here's a fun part that gets mentioned in the lawsuit. The party rule used to actually say that the convention was the highest authority in the party. So the convention can do things that override the state committee, and that right there is why they do not want the delegates having the rights to make motions. Because there's been other states where at their convention they've kicked out their state party leadership and put in new people at the convention. And this is fully within the convention's authority to do so if they're really misbehaving. And now that's obviously an extraordinary remedy there.
No, I support this. I'm on board if you guys will kick them all out and then make Casey the head of the Indiana Republican Party.
Sounds good.
Very good. All right, Joseph, like I said, I don't anybody that's suing the leadership of the Republican Party, I'm in full support of. I wish you guys the best, and keep us posted on how it goes.
Thank you very much.
Sounds to me like they just want the delegates to be able to do what they're allowed to do.
And this could be our path to make you the head of the Indiana Republican Party.
You think so?
Your dream.
Do I open my campaign? How do you campaign for that?
I think you just have to approach it with, I don't want this. Because look at your life. You really don't want this.
It'll be bestowed upon me? Okay.
Absolutely.
Kind of like you and Governor.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this, and people clamor for it anyway. You are listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. Nobody has more fun than we do. Linda McMahon, Education Secretary, will have her on today, 93 WIBC.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-529-2856. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-529-2856. That's 800-529-2856 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-529-2856. 800-529-2856.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, don't wait for it to fail in a heat wave. Upgrade now with a new energy-efficient system from B&W. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust us to keep their families cool and comfortable. Get a free estimate today at bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
The Johnson County Fair is going on right now. Join Hammer and Nigel live Thursday, July 17th, 3 to 7 at the Farm Bureau Building. Grab a legendary milkshake, catch the rodeo at 7, and make it a night to remember.
Feel bad. British Open starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who I'm going to bet on.
You want me to pick them for you?
Might as well.
Okay.
Time's a factor here.
Yeah, I know I'm running out of time because it starts at like 3 in the morning.
Are you going to get up?
Oh, yeah.
Because you do that like every year, right?
Totally. It's and then
I know.
You were there, Casey.
You don't expect anything from me. I may just roll in here at 3 in the morning because I don't got the cable. So, yeah, anyway. Jason Hammer joins us now. I mentioned that because we got a sports betting show out tomorrow.
We do. You will live bet the British Open by the time that airs.
Yeah.
Because it will be underway already. We'll do a little college football futures and dive into some other stuff tomorrow. If I sound a little out of breath, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I left my house way early. I wanted to be here early, but there's so much construction, and now because the All-Star Game stuff is coming into town, like all these big semi-trucks, they're blocking up downtown. Like I normally turn down Georgia Street, which is right before the construction, and come into our garage. But now all these trucks are unloading stuff, so I have to go around, and it's a huge mess. Downtown is an absolute mess right now.
Even more than normal?
More than normal. Like Nigel and I
believe it?
yesterday, we saw people actually working on the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. You would have thought we saw Bigfoot in the wild.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't believe it. For the first time in 3 months, somebody was actually working on the Soldiers and Sailors Monument.
It's depressing too. Like there is just an aura of depression. Like I think that every day when I get off, when you can see downtown from 70 as I'm coming in, and it's just like this feeling of dread comes over you.
And I hate that because I know what Indy has been and what can be, right? Because when we do events around here, nobody does it better. Like, how does Indianapolis, certainly not a beach city, host the best Super Bowl? And we did. We rocked it out of the park. All the stuff that we did here in Indy, they now incorporate in other Super Bowl places, like the zip lines and all that stuff. We do things so well. I really do feel like there's a lot of people that care about this place. Unfortunately, none of them are the leaders of this city.
It's not the mayor.
It's not the mayor. It's not the prosecutor. There's still a pretty bad crime issue. There's still a very bad homeless issue. And the juveniles downtown creating a problem, that's a big issue too. So yesterday, we played some audio of the chief of police and Boss Hogsett talking about the crime and the juvenile problem, the juvenile violence downtown.
They still begging the criminals not to criminal?
They did that on Friday, and now Boss Hogsett's like, if you're going to come downtown, don't bring a gun. Because, bad guys always pay attention to the law. So we tried to get Joe Hogsett on the show, but he was at happy hour.
Yeah.
So we got the next best thing. Here to lay out his new plan to put the kibosh on juvenile crime late at night in Indianapolis. Ladies and gentlemen, AI Joe Hogsett.
Look, a lot of people think I may have a drinking problem. A lot of people think I may have been in a rehab facility in Richmond, Indiana during the
you can stop that right
riots.
there. Maybe. Thank you. Do we have one from yesterday? Yesterday's date was the 15th. If you can get into our folder from yesterday, that was a previous visit from AI Joe Hogsett.
They all sound the same.
Well, so does Joe, right? But no, this dude is a total zero. And we're going to talk about some of the numbers this afternoon. But again, here to lay out his juvenile specific plan, okay, about the kids creating crime. Once again, AI Joe Hogsett.
Look, after some deep thought, I think I have figured out a way to keep juveniles out of downtown late at night. It's a new program I'm launching called Stay Off the Streets and I'll Buy You Liquor. We can drink together. I really, 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 really like bottles of liquor. And let's be honest, I'm too weak and stupid to actually ask my city council to put some consequences on the curfew law.
True.
So I'll just bribe the kids, go home on time, and I'll buy you a bottle of Old Granddad. Hell, at least you'll have one dad in your life. Am I right? AI Hogsett, out.
That is his plan for juvenile violence, my friends.
And it's probably not that far from what he would really do.
Right?
I mean, at this point.
Just replace the graham crackers with a little.
At least that's a plan. Go to one of the peace tents, get a bottle of Old Granddad, and stay home for the night.
Right?
AI Hogsett out.
Slow him down. Nothing else.
I had an open, call for anybody that voted for Joe Hogsett.
Yes.
To call into the show.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to talk to me face to face or on the phone, that's fine.
Understandable.
Email hammerandnigel@wibc.com.
Anybody respond?
No.
Nobody?
No. Why? Just tell me why. I'm not even going to fight with you. I'm just legitimately curious. Sure. Who's the voter that says that's my guy? The guy that went missing, the guy that has a major sexual harassment scandal, the guy that's been at the helm for the most violent years in the history of this wonderful city. Who's the person that says, I support that?
Give me some more of that.
You've drank a lot in your life.
I have.
Do you think Joe Hogsett is a good drinker? Do you think he can drink a lot, or do you think he just has a problem and can't control the amount that he drinks?
I think it's that. Remember when he, fell and they said, well, he was going to the trash and he had flip-flops on. Yeah, any drunk dude knows that ain't what happened here, right? He's the sloppy, fall down, my face gets really red drunk.
So, you don't think he could hang with you and Nigel?
I mean, no. We're pretty good, and I think we can hold ours pretty good. Joe would be, face down on the table, and the shot glass would be tipped over.
Remember when Nigel told me to turn left into a bunch of trees?
Well, maybe you're right. I don't know.
What's coming up this afternoon?
We'll try again with Linda McMahon. Tony Kennett will join us, and we'll have a good time.
Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
History returns with the Brickyard 400 at the famed 2.5-mile oval, celebrating NASCAR's roots at the racing capital of the world. Brickyard Weekend starts Thursday, July 24th with the Indiana Sprint Week race, with sprint cars running on the IMS dirt track for the first time ever. Saturday, July 26th, get ready for action with the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 250. Then Sunday, July 27th, the NASCAR Cup Series Brickyard 400, presented by PPG, returns to the oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Buy now and save at IMS.com.
Home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes have improperly marketed or sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hiring the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast, that's the key. The expert realtor I recommend, my friend Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what John in Greencastle had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I just bought a home in Greencastle shortly after my son moved to Fishers, which left me an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. A big mistake, and I felt stuck since I had been in the home less than a year. I asked the Mark Dietl team for help, and they delivered big. My home sold in 14 days for the price I needed, and that way I could move closer to family and work. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl, 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com.
Stay on your home court with Franciscan Health's top-rated cardiac heart care. No traveling, no waiting. Just award-winning heart care right where you live. Rated #1 in Indiana 2 years in a row for cardiology and cardiac care by Health Grades, Franciscan Health offers first-in-the-world treatments, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched compassion, because we believe every heartbeat is extraordinary. Don't sit on the sidelines with heart trouble. Schedule a same-day cardiology appointment today at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Reach your fitness goals in 2025 with a 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the additional charges handed out to those police say were in downtown Indy over the July 4th weekend. What the IMPD chief is saying about the way policing has been done over the past few years, and the status of Caitlin Clark for tonight's game following last night's win in Boston. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
President Trump has a new message to whom he now calls his past supporters. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He posted on Truth Social a short time ago related to what he calls the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, amid a new push for some answers. Fox's Evan Brown details.
Kentucky Republican Congressman Thomas Massey and California Congressman Ro Khanna, a Democrat, are co-sponsoring a new bill to force the publication of the U.S. government's files on crimes committed by Jeffrey Epstein, the financier who died in custody on charges of sexually trafficking minor girls.
Now, the Department of Justice has concluded there was no foul play in Epstein's death, that he committed suicide in jail in New York, and he did not leave behind a list of high-profile, well-known clients. Well, many conservatives don't believe that, demanding more information. Well, President Trump in this morning's post calls them weaklings, being conned by Democrats, buying into the hoax, hook, line, and sinker, and the president adds he doesn't want their support anymore. Now to the House.
Well, unfortunately, that was quick.
After a second, former Biden administration staffer refused to answer questions. Anthony Bernal had been subpoenaed to show up today in the Republican investigation into the former president's mental fitness, and if a decline was covered up. Oversight Committee Chair James Comer just said,
These are the types of questions we asked. Was Joe Biden fit to exercise the duties of the president? He pled the fifth. Second question, did any unelected official or family member execute the duties of the presidency?
The Trump administration is being sued again by Democrats. 20 state attorneys general claim a FEMA program is being illegally shut down, unlawfully cutting billions of dollars in disaster preparedness funding, while Senate Republicans look to claw back even more money already appropriated. Majority Leader John Thune says their rescissions bill
targets some of the egregious misuses of taxpayer dollars.
Canceling more than $9 billion in foreign aid and money for public broadcasting. GOP lawmakers say NPR and PBS are biased. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Handing out more charges. Cloudy with some rain at 78 in the Circle City, a high toward 88 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 11:02. 7 people, including 4 teenagers, have been charged with crimes linked to incidents during the 4th of July weekend in Indianapolis. The charges range from car theft and gun possession to resisting arrest. Several individuals are also accused of firing fireworks at people and police officers in downtown areas. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey says, though, the department is doing its job to bring down violent crime in the city.
The environment around policing changed dramatically, starting with the incident in Ferguson and then really took off during 2020, the racial reformation.
Bailey, a guest on WIBC's Tony Katz this morning. There have been at least 14 murders around Indianapolis this month alone. A lot of these incidents also involving young people. An Indianapolis foster mom is facing felony neglect charges after 2 young children were found suffering from severe malnourishment. Crystal Coleman has been charged with 2 counts of neglect of a dependent resulting in injury. The Department of Child Services made the report back in March, leading to the discovery of the conditions of a 2-year-old girl and 3-year-old boy. They were taken to Riley Children's Hospital for treatment and have since shown signs of improvement. Forecasters say severe storms with the potential for strong winds are headed to Indiana late today. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Really kind of coming in after about 6 o'clock. The greatest threat's going to be between about 8 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Forecaster Andrew White at the National Weather Service says strong winds are a worry. He also says some areas have had a lot of rain in the past few days, and these storms could make it worse.
Across western portions of the metro area, they got pretty heavy rain during the afternoon yesterday, so we'll keep a close eye there. And then down towards the Columbus area, they got some pretty heavy rain during the overnight. So that's just another area we'll be watching for the potential for additional flooding.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Fever extending their win streak to 3 games now as they beat the Connecticut Sun last night, 85-77. But they also saw Caitlin Clark go to the bench late in the game. Clark seemed to have re-injured her groin. Head coach Stephanie White said she'll be reevaluated today. Her status for tonight's game against New York now up in the air. This is also the last game until the All-Star break in Indianapolis, with the 3-point contest on Friday and the All-Star game Saturday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, let's talk about etiquette for a second, shall we? Because I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I think you know the history of this.
I do.
And I don't think I'm in the wrong here, but I want to lay it out for you and our audience.
I'm going to enjoy watching you try to lay it out.
Well, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? So if someone wants to meet with you and you know this person on like the peripheral, right? Like you know them. If they walked past you at a Wendy's, you would say, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Good to see you. How's work? Whatever, right? So you know this person, but you have no long-standing friendship with them. You've never worked with them.
Right.
Like, you know them on social media. You may have had a passing conversation with them over the years.
Yeah, you know of them.
That would be an accurate description of the thing I'm about to describe, correct?
Okay, sure.
If that person wants to meet with you, requests a meeting with you,
Yeah.
I think it's more than... It's not funny, Casey. This is so ridiculous at this point. It's not anything but professional to say, okay, I'd be happy to try to arrange that. Can you tell me what you want to meet about?
Right, so you can come prepared.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because while I know you, I don't know you well enough. We're not friends shooting the breeze.
Right.
We're not a couple of amigos. We're not crushing some brews together. Like, you want to meet with me about something. I barely know you. Fine, I will take time out of my busy day to try to meet with you because you seem like a decent enough person. But then
What do you want to talk about?
But then this person deliberately, you have read the entire thread, is evading telling me what they want to meet about over and over and over. And how many times have I told that person?
Right.
I'm happy to try to arrange time to meet with you.
Yeah.
You have to tell me. And have I not said?
And you even said if you don't want to put it in print, you can call me and tell me.
Right, because your employer is a high profile person, and maybe you don't want the beans you're about to spill or whatever. I get that all the time. I've never had this before, Casey. And I've met with all sorts of people. I'm very accessible. If you're a legitimate human and you have things that might be of interest to the public at large or whatever, I'm very accessible. But this is bizarre that this person, I mean, you have read the whole thing. It's been going on for weeks now.
Yeah.
This is about my fifth go of saying, hey, so-and-so.
What do you want to talk
yes.
about?
And then I
Be
will try to arrange time to
specific.
meet with you. Right.
Yeah, well, I think it's unfair because you can't come prepared if you don't know what the topic of conversation
Absolutely.
is. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think it's a level of trust, by the way.
And I am now at the point where I'm losing my patience with this person, and I'm about to go Rob Kendall on them.
Well, and it's really hard to decipher someone's humor in text because they may be laughing as they're typing, but you can't read that.
I think the fifth time of saying the same thing.
But here's the other thing. If you put it out there like, hey, just if you don't want to put it in writing,
right, you can
call me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why can't you just have the conversation over the phone?
Exactly. It would be two
why
seconds.
this offsite undercover meeting?
People dish dirt to me all the time. It all remains.
Maybe send her a Teams invite. and work your way through that.
Okay, so you know the party and the players here, and I am not. The fact that I am on my
I honestly
last
think that this person just wants to sit across from you to size you up.
for what? Like
I don't know for what.
Have they inherited a large
But
amount of
why
money and
else
they're
would
interested in?
Why else would you insist on meeting in person without telling the person what you want to meet about?
We could have a Zoom.
Right,
get
that's what
together.
I'm saying. Send a team
Cellular telephone.
Right, but she wants to see you.
Right.
Physically.
What, I'm going to look
Your
different?
Reactions. I don't know. Maybe she's just curious about the most powerful person in Indiana politics, Rob Kendall.
But here's the deal. So but you're backing me on this, that I am handling this the correct way.
Yeah, you just want to know.
Right.
Hey, what do you want to meet with me about?
Why are people so weird, Casey? This is the serious thing. Like, why are people so weird? Like, why do people think that's an acceptable way? I'm getting ready because we just had another one of these interactions where at first it was kind of humorous and I was chuckling about it.
Right,
We
you're
were
like, okay, that's a little elusive, but whatever.
Right. After I think this is the fifth time.
Now you're getting angry.
Now I'm starting to become.
Now you're going to call it off altogether.
Altogether. I'm giving this person one more chance because I know they will know.
You were very direct that last
yeah.
time.
This is it, lady. If you don't tell me what you want to talk about, it's all cut off. This is pathetic. These are grown-ass humans, Casey. Where is the business
Maybe she wants to show you hers if you... Oh, wait, no, that's somebody else who does that.
It's everyone in our government. Everybody in our government seems to be becoming more and more. And it's not every single human. I have several people that I'm very good friends with in the government who do a fine job. But more and more of these people, and they all seem to be out of the same orbit, by the way, are just sprinting towards the title of unprofessional sludge.
Do you want to say where you agree? Did you agree to a place to
No,
meet?
I said
where,
you tell me.
Where are you meeting?
You tell me what you want to discuss, and then I will try to arrange a time in order to make that work.
Yeah.
You can't be any more accommodating than that.
Right.
Does this happen in the business world? You ran
normally when you have a meeting or you call someone to have a meeting, unless you're letting them go.
Right.
And,
which she cannot do.
And you don't want to risk putting them on the air with a live microphone that they may say something inappropriate before you let them go.
Right.
You keep it on the down low.
This person is not an
Right.
employer.
Right.
They have no control over me.
They can't do that to you.
Right.
So, yeah, typically when you're asking someone to meet,
That's correct.
you give them a heads up about what it's going to be.
Right.
Regarding.
So, for example, if this person, because again, all the time happens to me, people in government, around government, this is how I get all the information, right? No problem
I
whatsoever.
mean, this isn't a love interest.
No, well, I would hope not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This isn't like a flirtatious,
I
hey,
would assume
you want to
not.
meet? You know, what
But
do you
I'm
want to talk
starting
about?
to get worried now.
Well,
I don't know at this point. Like, it's so weird. People I meet all the time.
you're pretty cute, Rob.
Thank you. But I just, look, I'm very happily taken.
She's cuter, by the way.
My wife did tell me yesterday
She's prettier.
she would sell me
Smarter,
for
too.
$1 billion. That's the
That's
price.
your going rate?
Right.
Aw.
Yes. Because I was saying, like, what if someone tried to take advantage of me? And she's like, is there any money involved? And I said, would that make any difference? She's like, well, maybe $1 billion.
She'll consider it.
I said, really?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, what $1 billion would be life-changing?
It would totally be life-changing.
Okay, so...
So would $10 million, which is your going rate to run for governor.
Maybe this person wants to hand me $10 million.
Possibly.
Maybe it'll be a briefcase full of cash.
Right.
Could be.
She has to tell you the combination in person.
But in the business world, when you meet with somebody,
Yeah.
and this happens all the time when the government, people in the government, around the government want to give me information. Hey, you don't have to be in, intricate detail over the phone. They just say, okay, here's a great example. You know that I met with a very high-profile government figure several weeks ago, and you were blown away with who this person was and that they wanted to meet. And then you were like, be very careful. Sit with your back to the wall at all times. And what did we do? I required that person via cellular telephone.
Yeah.
We had a very nice, it was quick, 5-minute conversation. Here's the thing I want to meet with you about. That meeting was about exactly that. That person has provided very good, verifiable information for something that I am in the throes of working on. And it has all been fine.
Right.
That's how it works.
See, now here's the other advice that I would give you if you do happen to meet this other very elusive person. Tell them that there's a start and an end time.
Oh, I got to put a time limit on it.
Well, yeah,
that's a good
because
point.
they're not telling you what they want to talk about to begin with.
Well, they will, though. We're not meeting.
Well, if you get that out of them and you set up a time to meet, you got to make sure you have an end time or it will branch off into all other topics.
I got to guard my time.
Don't want to discuss.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to have you come with me. I think that's my new insistence. This is
Wait a
dragging out
minute.
long
Did
enough.
I just get voluntold to do
Well,
something?
you opened your mouth.
You know what happened to me yesterday? I've been having a hard time logging into a thing here at work.
What? Something's broken our work?
I need a new password.
And no
It's
one's
been a whole
readily
thing.
fixing it? No
I
way.
keep getting sent the reset your password, and I keep doing it, and I'm just caught in this loop. And finally, I sent the guy at tech support an email, and I said, listen, you know what? You keep sending me this thing. I keep doing what you're telling me to do. I'm going through a loop. It's not working. Can we just get on the phone, and I can, tell you the problem?
Sure.
And guess what he did? Sent me a Teams invite.
Oh, no.
So that has replaced phone calls.
Can he not talk on the phone? Maybe he doesn't have vocal
I don't
cords.
know.
Do you know, is this a
Or
person?
maybe, is it a situation where his company needs proof of this and the only way to prove it was through Teams?
But why couldn't he tell you that?
So now I got
Why do people not talk anymore?
Nobody wants to be on the phone. Like she keeps that person keeps texting you.
We've already established it's a woman.
Okay. She keeps texting you, but it won't call you.
So look here, lady. This is your last chance, okay? That's it. This is it. Final opportunity. Either you say what it is, or I'm not only denying the meet, I'm blocking the number.
And apparently I'm joining him.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
I found out, because I don't put anybody's number in my phone.
I
So
know.
part of the guessing game for me is,
Right, who is this
when I
from?
get messages that I haven't gotten in a
I
while. It's
know.
part of the fun for me. I have to
Yeah.
figure out who it is.
Right.
And then this person,
Am I in your phone?
Yes, I communicate with you enough that I would have to do that.
Okay.
I begrudgingly
just want to know where I stand.
I begrudgingly
in
put
your phone hierarchy.
I begrudgingly put Kevin in there too. But like people that Kevin
doesn't want to be in there.
I should. So when this person messaged me, I was like, who is this? And then because I'm pretty good at area codes. Like I know people by area codes and prefixes. I'm pretty good at that because you know how this mine
I know, it's
works.
a file cabinet.
But then I was like, who is this? And then I went back and over a year ago.
Context clues, you have to piece it together.
Yeah, who is this? And then I found out over a year ago, we had a similar interaction where she arranged a time for us to meet, but she did identify what the thing was, and then she called it off and no-showed.
Oh.
She had some sort of work event, which was great for me.
She wants to circle back to that.
I don't like meeting with people.
I know you do. You're a very private person.
I have a 5-hour window from when I get off work and the hellion is released from daycare. And those are my 5 hours to put some semblance of sanity of my life together. And that will interrupt that. But I'm willing to do it, but not if you won't tell me what you want to meet about.
It's got to be worth your while.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she knows it won't be.
Oh, right. And she's afraid you'll just say no, thank you.
That's right.
Yeah. It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC. I don't think we figured anything out, by the way.
Historic flooding.
This is a 100-year catastrophe.
Lives shattered.
Dedicated, searching for every single one of the children.
It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river.
Support Texas flood relief efforts by going to SALArmyEDS.org. Whatever you can spare will help.
It is undescribable and catastrophic.
From 93.
This is a national emergency.
WIBC.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days. Honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today, 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
If you used to hear a whole lot of this, but now you can barely hear this, you need to check out RelayIndiana.com and the Caption Telephone. The Caption Telephone allows you to get your groove back when using the telephone. It uses voice recognition technology so you can read on a bright screen what the other caller is saying. Go to RelayIndiana.com and add clarity back into your conversations with the Caption Telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
From storm damage to deep root care, Ingle Dial Tree experts keep your trees strong, safe, and beautiful. Call today or visit IngleDialTreeExperts.com.
Okay, so let me get this straight. This is the new Republican math.
Mm-hmm.
We added $5 trillion to the debt.
Mm-hmm.
Then we reduced spending by $9 billion.
9.4.
Nope, it's 9. They took a bunch out.
They took the 0.4 out.
They took the 0.4 out. They were very concerned about the George W. Bush foreign AIDS program.
Okay.
And making sure that Indians can still broadcast on tribal lands.
Yes.
And so it ended up being $9 billion. That was the compromise, was the $9 billion. So we added $5 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
We're clawing back $9 billion of the $5 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes us $4.991 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
in debt from where we started the year at, and we're throwing a victory parade about
Yep,
this.
they're going to call it a win. You got it.
Okay. So this is amazing. This is the most government thing ever, because the whole time they've been like, but Doge is finding all this money. But you're adding $5 trillion. But Doge is finding all the money. Well, this was the first acceptance of the government. They call it rescission, in which the government has the ability to basically get a redo on spending. It's very rare that it actually happens, but you get ability to unspend or unallocate money that has been allocated. And so as part of the Musk Doge stuff, this is the first round of that. And of course, as everybody knew, it was going to be some big hey-roo, brouhaha fight in the streets over any spending. And by the hair of their chinny chin chin, they had initially asked for 9.4 back. The Republicans, because they, heaven forbid they actually do that, made it $9 billion, and it was a 50-50 vote, and Vance had to break the tie.
Yeah, so by the hair on Vance's beard.
Yes, they so $9 billion. They added $5 trillion to the debt. They'll give you $9 billion back. Now the good thing is, other than they were very concerned for some reason about the Indians on tribal land and their public broadcasting, but other than that, it appears public broadcasting, federal money to public broadcasting, now donezo. So hey, let's jot it down. 11/22 on the 16th of July, 2025. The Republicans did something worthwhile. Of course, it's still costing me $4.991 trillion.
Correct.
But at least now public broadcasting will have to play on a level playing field with the rest of us and be miserable in this industry with the rest of us.
Yeah, which makes you believe that somebody was very upset about this, which is why the Elmo X account was so
That's right.
crazy the other day.
Now, Elmo claimed he got hacked.
Right.
Now, do you believe that, or you think Elmo went nutso?
Or was it the employee who's running the Elmo account?
Well, because didn't Elmo go after, other than the public broadcasting, didn't Elmo actually go after Jewish people too? I don't see actual Elmo being anti-Semitic.
You know Elmo's a puppet, right?
Yeah, but we grew up with Elmo. And Elmo never...
There's a human who's actually behind the keyboard.
As a small boy, Elmo never showed any sign of anti-Semitism that I'm aware of. And now we watch the reruns. We don't watch the new Sesame Street because of all the shenanigans, but the old Sesame Street.
The old stuff. Well, be careful if you go to the X account. You never know.
And they did delete...
It's go off
but
the
they
hook.
did delete the rant.
They did. They deleted it. But by the way, how about the three people who voted no for the rescission package?
Well, it's the usual suspects.
Collins, Murkowski, and Mitch McConnell. Does Mitch McConnell even know where he is?
Okay, so if we had Braun and McConnell take that cognitive test together, who would do better, Braun or McConnell?
I think it would be Braun.
You think so?
Honestly.
I mean,
yes.
Braun says a lot of things that just didn't happen.
I mean, I saw that list of names, and it was
happening.
like Susan Collins, well, of course. Lisa Murkowski, of course. Mitch McConnell, wait a minute. Is he even still in the Senate? Like, isn't he retiring?
Would you have won the
soon?
Dead or Alive game? Like, would you have gotten that right?
I
If I'd
would have
said a
gotten it
name?
right alive, but for some reason, I was surprised to see his name, like, that he was still even in there.
Yeah, he's through next year, I think.
Yeah.
He's still a thing. Okay, but this is the point, this is the way the Republicans lie to you, is that they look at these cuts we made, but then they just added a bunch of spending and unaccountable, unpaid for programs in the big bullcrap bill, so they made it $4.991 trillion worse. So what? Congratulations.
Yes, well, that's what they want you to say. But what did Senator Mike Rounds? He's Republican from South Dakota.
He was concerned about the Indians.
He was. He's the one who secured the agreement with the White House so that they could reprogram the Corporation for Public Broadcasting money so that they could transfer funds and they would still have the emergency alerts for rural areas. Like, what did he do? Like, he got money for his state.
You mean legalized vote buying?
Oh.
And this is always the thing that gets me. The rural radio station. I've owned a rural radio station. I owned a radio station that was so rural, we had to create a special antenna to get the EAS thing transmitted from another radio station. So if anybody understands how rural radio station, it was in a solid block building 30 minutes outside of a major metropolitan city in the middle of nowhere. So I knew in a county of, I don't know, 20 or 30,000 people in the entire county. It was as rural as you could possibly get. We made it work. But the EAS system, yeah, I don't think Mr. Rounds exactly knows how that all works. But if you got to tell me that the Indians can keep their PBS in exchange for everybody else to play on a level playing field, I mean, like it's like here. We have a competitor that does talk radio, public broadcasting in the city. Why am I paying in a major metropolitan city that has 30-plus radio stations? They all disseminate emergency alert system. They all have the ability to take over at any given time. And they're competing with me. They do talk radio.
Right.
Why am I paying?
Right.
Why is my tax money going for somebody else to get my money to get a free ride to compete with me to try to put me out of business?
Right. That's exactly what's happening.
It's not like if what are they? FYI is their call letters, I think. It's not like if they have a good book, they're like, oh, those poor people at WIBC that we took listeners from, which will hurt their advertising, which will hurt Rob's ability to earn money. Oh, that poor guy. No, it's ridiculous. If people want that, they can pay for it. I have very successfully worked at non-commercial radio stations. I know how to sell advertising at non-commercial radio stations. It can be done. They should have to play by the same rules as everybody else.
Okay, so the Pentagon signed a $200 million agreement with Elon Musk and his company to use Grok. And then Mike Johnson said that Elon Musk changed his phone number after the big, beautiful bill. Changed his phone number so that they can't get a hold of him.
Can you imagine being okay, so don't they recycle phone numbers?
Do they? Pass it out to somebody else?
They do, right? I mean, that happens all the time. People get new phone numbers and they start getting spam calls.
Right.
Can you imagine being the person who somehow ends up with
Elon Musk's new phone number?
Although, I don't know. Do you think he's got some sort of special phone? Like, he's probably not using AT&T. He's got to have some sort of special.
Isn't he inventing a phone?
Well, that's my point. He's probably got his own thing, or who are the others? Sprint or Verizon or any of these other whatevers. Like, he's probably not using them.
Do you think he took out his SIM card? No, he just changed phone numbers. He didn't
changed phone
necessarily
numbers.
change phones. Yeah.
All right, what are we doing next? What's going on?
We've got to talk about Trump and the auto pen. You want to do that?
Oh, how exciting.
Okay, it is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Charging more people for downtown violence. I'm Jarrett Lewis for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 11:30. 7 more people are facing charges for incidents happening around Indianapolis from the violent July 4th weekend. Those charged include a 16-year-old and 2 14-year-olds. A man is dead as police say he was shot on the east side of Indianapolis Tuesday afternoon. His identity unknown at this time, and no arrests have been made. Rain and stronger winds expected today with a chance of severe weather also later on.
Really kind of coming in after about 6 o'clock. The greatest threat's going to be between about 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. with those stronger storms.
Meteorologist Andrew White with the National Weather Service says there's a chance of showers every day over the next 5 to 6 days. And the Indiana Fever winning their 3rd game in a row after beating Connecticut last night. Caitlin Clark, however, is uncertain to go for tonight's game against New York after re-injuring her groin. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. And right now, Universal Windows Direct has an incredible deal going on where you have not one, but 2 options to have brand new, beautiful windows in your home with an incredible price that comes with it. Incredible payment plan, more like it. Listen to this. First of all, you can choose payments as low as $99 a month. That's right, $99 a month. Or 12 months with no interest and no payments. You make the choice, whatever fits best for you. Payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no interest and no payments right now with Universal Windows Direct. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the information and most importantly, schedule a totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate. Call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. You can check all their work out on the web. UniversalWindowsDirect.com, UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
All right, so we should probably talk about this Caitlin Clark thing for a second because that's getting super interesting, and it's playing out exactly as we'd kind of predicted over a year ago. And by the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. So if you missed it, Caitlin Clark was apparently injured again last night, and this is a horrible time for that to happen, given that the WNBA All-Star Game taking place later this week. She's supposed to be in the three-point contest. It appeared to be a growing injury of some sort.
Right.
The one opposite of the one she had previously injured, where she was out for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And if she misses that All-Star Game and the festivities around it, there will be 7 people who will be watching. And it really does, though, underscore what we talked about when she entered the league, is that the problem with all of this is that the people are not interested in the league.
They're interested in her.
That's right. Yeah. And then the people around her are able to elevate, like with Sophie Cunningham and players like that, the well-assembled players. Obviously, their ability to be seen around her is elevating them. Again, this has happened, and it has worked throughout the history of sport in these fringe sports, but there's a shelf life to this because people will lose interest in her eventually, the same way as they lost interest with Wayne Gretzky in hockey, the same way after Mike Tyson went to prison, boxing folded, the same way after Tiger Woods in 2008 and then got injured, and then his wife allegedly took a mid-iron to one of his vehicles, and that was the end of that, and golf has never recovered. Like, it's just the way these fringe sports operate. There's a person that's bigger than the sport. For a while, they infuse mass interest into the sport, and then either their father time catches up with them or whatever, and simply then it goes back to sort of the thing that it was. And she is really having trouble staying healthy this year, and that's not good for that sport, because part of you buying a ticket is I'm going to see.
Right. Caitlin Clark.
Right.
And especially the three-point contest, because that's her thing, right?
There is no interest in this sport. Now, no interest. Obviously, there are people who go to WNBA games, and that's fine. But in terms of the public at large, people will not be watching this All-Star game if she's not playing, which it looks like if it's a growing injury, hamstring, whatever, they're going to not play her. And you have seen, I told you we had that conversation on Sunday after the Fever game with those people who went to the game, and they were talking about how trying to buy tickets on the open market is a challenge because you can't do it ahead of time. If she doesn't play, that's who you're going to see,
right?
And the value plummets. And so that makes it very difficult. Like when Michael Jordan was in his prime, he went literally years without missing a game because he knew if I come to Indianapolis, people are paying primo price to see me. Yes, the Bulls are a brand. People are paying to see me. I have an obligation to get out there and go play basketball, even if I'm not feeling 100%. And he did. Literally went years without missing a basketball game. This is becoming a reoccurring issue now. Not saying it's her fault of her missing games. And then that starts to become a trend. And then you get people in other cities who are much more hesitant to pull the trigger until a game time type decision, because you're not going to pay that if she's not going to be there.
Well, it's being reported that she has a groin injury. Don't know how severe it is. A mild one usually takes 1 to 3 weeks to heal. A moderate one, 4 to 6 weeks. And a severe groin strain could take 8 weeks or more.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't mean that there were hardcore Fever fans before Caitlin Clark. There are certainly going to be hardcore Fever fans if she doesn't play, and there will be hardcore Fever fans after. But that league has been a financial dumpster fire for literally generations now because there's just not an interest in it. It is a charity case. I don't say that to be mean. I'm not trying to diminish the people who enjoy women's basketball. Great on you. Everybody can do what they want to do. She is everything to that league, and if she is not, that is the worst thing that can happen. Not that she doesn't play well, that she doesn't play at all.
Okay, do you want to talk about the auto pen and what's going on there? The White House is now investigating a whopping million-plus documents that were used by Joe Biden and the auto pen.
So I have so many questions about this. There's no way. The auto pen must be used by every president then. There's no way the president signs 1 million documents.
Right.
So we got to get some clarification on this. If there's 1 million documents that allegedly have the president's signature on it, there's no way he's signing. Like, okay, when I was a kid and they had I don't know if they still have this, the presidential physical fitness test in your local elementary school gym class.
Did you have to climb a rope for that?
Do so many push-ups, so many sit-ups. You had to run a mile in a certain amount of time.
Right.
I, as a person of esteemed physical fitness in the 3rd grade, achieved the whatever it was called, the Presidential Physical Fitness Gold Star thing, whatever. And I got a certificate. And it had George H.W. Bush's signature on it. Or Bill Clinton's signature, whoever it was. Whoever was the president when I was in the 3rd grade, their signature.
I don't feel like that was an auto pen. I feel like that was just a copy. Like they just ran that through the
What's
copier.
the difference? There was a signature on there. I did, because I remember coming home and showing that to my old man and going, "This is cool. The president signed this." And of course, he crapped all over it. Didn't even play it. He's like, "He didn't sign that." I was like, "His signature's right there." He's like, "That's not real."
He
signature.
signed one, and then they made a bunch of
Yeah,
copies
I don't know.
of it.
I don't. Yeah, that's probably what happened, right? He signed one, and then they started printing those off, and then some guy just typed my name in whatever government building that was in, and then they sent it back to me.
Yeah.
But I'm certain that there was a presidential signature on whatever that thing was, and I probably have it somewhere in my house. And I just remember my old man just looking right at me going, "He didn't sign that."
So Trump says that he doesn't use the auto pen for any official business, only for personal correspondence and unofficial documents. Maybe that's what you got, an unofficial document.
Well, all the things, like if you give money to the Republican Party, then you get a never endless junk mail from the Republican Party and Trump's. I've seen them. People get them. The thing with Trump's signature on it, like a
Bill
letter.
and Hillary's signature.
Is it real?
Well, I don't know. I guess that
It's
it was
fake.
an auto pen or.
Yeah,
a
if you don't
copy.
know that it's fake. What is it on?
It's a card. I invited them to my wedding. And they sent me a reply.
Like you legitimately wrote the President of the United States and said, please come to my wedding?
Well, I sent them a wedding invitation.
Why?
1,600. Well, because that's who was in office.
Oh.
Not because I wanted them specifically, but just the president.
That's so weird. You felt the need to invite the president to your wedding.
I also invited the Queen of England.
No, wait. Whatever we're gonna do, just pause for a second. We gotta work through this. Why?
Why not?
Well,
What if they sent a gift?
You can't answer a question with the question. Like I'm asking you, clearly there was a reason you invited them. You and Jim sat down and you're going through who's in and who's out, and you're like, hey,
Well, because
Bill
when
and
you order the invitations and you get so many of them,
yeah.
and you may have a few extras.
Oh, I see.
Right. It's like,
so these were leftovers.
Yeah, just send one to the White House, send one to Buckingham Palace, see what happens. What if they sent a gift?
You weren't under a delusion that they were actually going to show up at your wedding.
No. I didn't think they were going to show up, but I did get a responst back.
And you still have it
from the Clintons. It's in the scrapbook.
Was it regrets?
It was kind of like best wishes on this happy day for you.
Did they say no?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, they did say no. They did say no. We're not coming.
Right. We'll be a little busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you then respond with another letter which says your husband is a dirty, rotten, sexual, deviant liar?
No, and I'm trying to think if we knew about even the Monica Lewinsky
I would have
story
done that.
when that
No,
came
that
out.
hadn't become a thing when you got married.
Right. So.
Your wedding photo is fabulous too. Your husband. I mean, someday I would love for you to post that on social media.
I know you would.
I mean, your husband.
I look great.
No, you are ageless. You have not aged at all. Your husband, though, I mean, he is straight out of some sort of 90s sitcom. Like, if you can picture the sort of studious, wacky 90s sitcom guy.
I'll just say that the Caesar haircut was a thing when.
You have
when
to
we
post
got
that photo at some point.
married.
I mean, everybody looked ridiculous.
You
in
know
the
what
90s.
I'm talking about? The Caesar haircut.
I've seen the photo. This is why I'm mentioning it. He looks, and your husband is such a cool guy, and he looks like such a cool guy. I'm sorry, though, that wedding photo is heinous.
Oh, that's not nice.
I saw it, and I was like, Casey, the first time I saw that photo was when I was dog sitting for you.
Right.
And I was like, has Casey been married twice?
Who's
I didn't recognize him.
Is that really what you thought?
Yes, I didn't
you
know.
were sniffing around my house.
Well, I searched your house from top to bottom. I found a lot of cool stuff.
Did you? You did
No,
not.
I wanted to, but I assumed there was a camera on every floor, and I didn't want to get caught.
That's smart on your
part. If
part.
you let me in your house, I will do. This is the thing about me.
If I let you in my house now, you're going to take that photo.
No. I mean, I would post on social media now. But if you let me in your residence, like my neighbor, I have the key to the code and everything to get into his house.
Your neighbor's your dad.
No, on the other side of me. He didn't.
Okay.
My dad didn't give me a code to get into anything.
How many keys do you have? Because you still have my keys.
Very trustworthy,
I guess.
And if you have a package, my neighbor is a fireman. He is gone sometimes.
Yeah.
And he knows that you can let me in your residence and I will do whatever you want me to do, and then I will back out and I will not go through any drawers or anything. I'm just not that interested in your life. That's the thing. But that wedding photo, that was gold, baby.
Abdul is going to join us next. What are we talking to him about?
Crime City. It's out of control.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you may have heard.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk to Abdul coming up from 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, if Trump is winning the trade war, then the sky's the limit, isn't it? That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial. Retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose radio hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Conklin Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Conklin Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Conklin have all the choices. Plus, a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. For your free estimate, call Conklin Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit ConklinExteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Hey, the Johnson County Fair is going on now. Join us, Hammer and Nigel, at the Farm Bureau Building at the Johnson County Fair this Thursday.
Have one of their famous milkshakes and stick around for the rodeo that starts at 7 o'clock. That's this Thursday, 3 to 7 at the Johnson County Fair with Hammer and Nigel.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel all week long for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Earth, Wind, and Fire, July 23rd at Everwise Amphitheater. Details at 93 WIBC.
The city government's a mess. The politicians, they're even worse. Let's bring some sanity to the equation. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. Look who it is. An author, the broadcaster, owner and operator of IndyPolitics.org, Abdul-Hakim Shabazz. Hello.
Because, Mr. Wayne, some men just want to watch the world burn.
Well, I think everybody's into everything burning. You've covered Indianapolis. You've been a part of this 20-plus years, radio, obviously now Indy Politics. This city's a dumpster fire.
I don't think the city is a dumpster fire yet.
It could get worse.
I do think that the trash has been lit at the bottom of the dumpster and is starting to grow and spread. Because on the public safety thing, the facts are what they are. I mean, for example, downtown, which is what our focus is today, is still relatively safe. It's the perception.
It is?
Yes.
It's still relatively safe?
Yes. It's the perception that's the problem. And perception, as you know, becomes reality. Because if you look at crime in Marion County, only 6% of it occurs in the downtown area, which is the lowest number. However, it doesn't matter. Because if people don't think downtown is safe, because we've got teenagers firing guns at each other and massive teenagers roaming the streets, it doesn't. The facts don't matter. Now, I want to say tomorrow, Chief Bailey, Reverend Harrison, they're having a big sort of second Saturday night expo weekend thing, which for the most part...
Because the Black Expo is this weekend.
Yeah, Black Expo this weekend, which for the most part for the past 6-7 years, that second Saturday night, which used to be sort of the plague of downtown, has actually been fine. But with the recent spate of sort of teenagers roaming uncontrollably, they're like, hey, we need to put our foot down early.
Okay, so Hogsett, Mears... look, I kind of feel bad for the Bailey guy, the chief of police, because I think he wants to do well. But Indy Star had an article this morning about Braun and the state. They interviewed some of the big muckety-mucks, Bray, et cetera, about potentially taking over downtown or what that might look like. And, of course, they don't have any idea because that's just I don't think they want any part of it. Do you agree with that? They don't want any part of actually taking over downtown Indianapolis.
No, because also number one, the question was asked when Governor Braun had his media availability yesterday about the state of Indiana taking over downtown Indianapolis, and Braun was like, no, that's not going to happen because number one, state police are trained differently than IMPD. Yes, they're both law enforcement officers. But there's a different type of training to be a state police officer than be an IMPD officer, and they're sort of different. It's sort of like sending in the National Guard. The National Guard is to restore order and do a little bit of crowd control, but that's all they do. It gets a lot more involved and a lot more complicated.
Okay, so Indy Star had an article about this today, and the Star does some very nice reporting, but there's always some sort of it's not an opinion they throw in there, but it is an opinion. They want you to know, hey, here's something that. Just to make you think not along the lines of the obvious of where we're leading you. And they were like, well, Ballard's last year, there were 144 homicides. It wasn't always under 100. They want you to know that it wasn't always under 100 with Ballard. People would give limbs to be at 144. Oh, and the new thing is, what do they call it? Criminal homicides. That's their new way. They score it differently because it was getting so out of control. They're like, well, let's come up with this new way to score it. These are not all criminal homicides.
Well, actually, but the criminal homicide actually does make sense because.
But they didn't do that with Ballard. It was 144 homicides. I never heard the word criminal homicide until 2 or 3 years ago, where it got totally out of control.
Well, actually, we kind of started doing the whole criminal homicide thing long before everybody else discovered that because a murder is a homicide, but not all homicides are murders.
That's fine, but the city, when you're going to talk about statistically year over year, then cut the Ballard stuff in half, right? Then we're at 70. If that's the way you're going to do it, they didn't do that until 2 or 3 years ago, where we consistently were over 200 homicides, and then they came out and they're like, well, there's a difference. We've got to have some clarity here.
Well, also got to keep in mind, too, because I remember when this happened, part of the reason why the criminal homicide rate went up in the last couple of years of Ballard is because Council Democrats took control and started messing around with the crime prevention grant money.
I would agree with that. But that's my point is nobody has any confidence that Hogsett is going to figure this out, or Mears is going to figure this out, or put them together. There's nothing they're doing. There's nothing that's going to fix any of this.
I will say this, because I figured that usually Indianapolis tends to get the mayor that it needs at the time. Goldsmith was your technocrat. Peterson was your developer. Ballard was your infrastructure guy. And so when Joe Hogsett came to office, like, hey, Joe's a former U.S. attorney. Crime should really be his focus. I've been grossly disappointed in that.
One of the things Braun said in his press conference was that the next step is to put our heads together and really do something. And he's not saying what that's going to be, but something needs to be done. You ran for mayor. What would you do?
As far as the public safety universe goes? Funny you asked that question. I had a comprehensive approach to public safety. It was basically it's weed and seed. It's get rid of the bad element, replace the bad element with positive stuff. And one of the things I always said was we're going to increase our police presence, number one, increase our volunteer presence in those types of neighborhoods. And the other thing we're going to do is, and I kind of said this and I got in trouble for it, some kids just need their asses kicked.
That's not wrong.
Some people just need a good old-fashioned ass whooping, plain and simple.
What do you think about finding the parents of the children that are out past curfew?
I am all for it.
Would that be a deterrent? Would that keep them, keeping an eye on their kids?
Actually, what I would do is I'd go a step further, and part of the way you hold parents accountable for their kids' behaviors is if the parent is getting some sort of government benefit, is, okay, this government benefit is going to be suspended until you get your ass in here.
Oh, yeah.
And we figure all this out. Because I want to say this happened up in the Lawrence Township area years ago when when kids weren't showing up for school. And so the trustee said, if your kid isn't in school tomorrow, we're going to withhold poor relief. And guess what? People started showing up.
There you go. All right, you can find him over at Indy Politics. He has that fabulous new piece on Diego Morales and Micah Beckwith, palling around with a rather infamous individual in the city of
several infamous.
Yes. Find it all, indypolitics.org. And again, good job to you. We didn't even have time to get into this today. You did a deep dive through that Diego Raju contract on top of what the Indy Reporter guy had done. That contract is one giant red flag, right?
It's several red flags.
Read it all, indypolitics.org. Abdullah keeps you boss. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for us today. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you for listening today. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's just a heads up. The Social Security Administration just announced they're now projected to run out of money 1 year earlier than expected. Your benefits could be cut by as much as 23%, and the average person could lose more than $100,000 in lifetime income. Discover how you could get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
So, if you've saved more than $200,000